Hello, hello, hello.
Good morning.
Morning. Yeah, it is barely still morning. Oh, it just ticked over to be noon. Well, I figured since they're watching Papa Burke's match in the other stream, that we would check out Hammond Lewis, which is actually really close. It is currently being decided by penalty imps.
Wow. So I did hear a little bit about how they're doing that last night when I saw a couple of the competitors. So which I don't see it. I see Senior USA1 semifinal 3-4, and I see USA2. Oh, I see. Didn't realize if you clicked on that, both matches came up.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Well, no, right? Because Hammond is ahead despite the penalty. Maybe they just scored a couple of imps.
Hammond is ahead despite the penalty. Oh,
I
Hammond
mean,
is
I,
minus. Hammond has minus penalty. Okay.
yeah, I'm
I
showing Hammond up four at the table and 1 1/4 counting the time penalty.
got it. Well, either way, the match is very close. Ooh. And we could see a swing on board five. When No Trump did get doubled, a weak No Trump vulnerable. Pass, penalty double. So North South have been able to run to two diamonds. And yeah, so this is in the blue room. Mitch Dunitz makes a takeout double. It tends to be the case that you want your first double to be takeout after these types of actions. So we'll see if Rex Grable elects to sit for this, or if he does something like just bid 4 hearts himself. He could do that with a good 5 card heart suit and a 9 count. I would be very tempted to sit for the double of two diamonds.
Yeah, I think at these colors, it's um, sorry. Yeah, he does pass. I mean, at these colors. Oh, sorry, no, he's still thinking. If you can make a game, uh, you've got way more than half the deck. Partners double here. Probably still implies at least two diamonds because I'm sure he could have done something else if he had a self-sufficient hand.
Mm-hmm. You know, now that I'm looking at it, I wonder if 4 hearts isn't the right way to go about it, and maybe just three no trump if he wants to bid a game. Maybe that's what he's thinking about.
I think he's just thinking about passing. I mean, yeah, sort of like your hand is soft and you don't have a guarantee of a heart fit, which is an argument for three no trump. But I think he's just counting his tricks against two diamonds and making sure nothing dumb is happening.
Yeah, yeah, that seems reasonable.
He's gonna
I would
take.
have
I mean,
passed
as it
much faster,
is,
but
yeah. I mean, it's a little dangerous, right? Because if you move, a little bit of the diamond strength into the south hand, they could be doing fairly well. But I think you sort of expect to take, you know, one or two spades, possibly a spade rough, probably a heart, a club, and a couple of trumps. So already um, you know, that's a plus, even opposite, kind of an indifferent hand.
yeah,
Like, partner has king of spades, ace of clubs, you got to beat, and obviously he has much more than that because he doubled.
right, right. Well, Ross is still thinking about
Although,
it. Expect him to pass, but I guess we'll leave him to his thoughts. So in the green room over here, club by south and West just jumps to 4 spades. Looks pretty normal. And what do we do as North? I mean, I guess we're kind of shut out of the auction.
yeah, I mean, you're a little regretful, but I think doubling on the North cards is just a little too much.
Right.
And we'll
So,
see whether it's duplicated in the other room, but I think that pass by North is normal.
right.
So he did eventually pass it out, so now we can follow the play in two diamonds double because a play in four spades doesn't look that interesting.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of the opening lead, the defense can switch to trumps and collect three hearts and
Yeah.
four and one trick in
Two
each
minors or
minor.
tricks,
So,
yeah.
um, yeah, so double of two diamonds. We get the queen of spades lead to the ace. I mean, West had to pick from one of his queen jack thirds in the major suits to lead and elected to go with the stronger one. Makes sense.
Reasonable.
Um, yeah, and so Ross Grable, I mean, wins the ace and returns a spade. He's probably looking at that king third of clubs, figuring his partner has the ace in front, and now he can pitch one of his clubs on partner's jack of spades. So this looks like a promising start for the defense.
Yeah, and also, um, guarantee scoring one of those little diamonds.
Yep.
Kind of the same thing. Like, pitch a club, rough a dime, rough a club, and see whether there's anything else to take. So it feels like declare what can probably start a club now. I feel like you want to do that while you can, but
Yeah, that seems reasonable to me. Elects to lead the nine of clubs out of hand. Um, maybe just to conceal some high card points from the
and also
defense.
possibly just to hold the lead there if it's tucked all the way around. I
Oh
don't think
my.
that's super likely, but the spots all being equal is better than leading the deuce, I think.
Oh yeah, I was just thinking if you were worried, you could lead the jack, and then.
Yeah, but the jack, if it goes nine low low queen, the jack might be a late entry.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Well, Mitch didn't really work out what his partner wanted him to do. So he switches to the Queen of Hearts, which, I mean, is not that unreasonable of a play. You expect to be setting up a heart trick, but obviously Ross was preferring that he cashed a spade pitching a club.
Yeah,
So,
I think it's probably wrong because your partner returned the ten of spades and dummy started with nine seven fourth. I think this exact position you know, is pretty likely.
yeah, I agree.
Like if you weren't looking at the nine in dummy, I think it would be harder to guess what's going on. But here, what is partner doing?
Right. Yeah. So, Declare now does get to rough a heart, and then will be able to cross in clubs and rough another heart. And if he wants, I expect him to take the club hook. Okay, so he does. Probably on a good day, he'll be able to rough this heart, cross back to the club king, and maybe the hearts are actually 4-4 in that scenario, and he could rough a fourth heart in his hand.
Right, he would actually make it if that happens.
Yeah, but in this case,
This club, one heart rough, and the ace of diamonds left to come.
right? Yeah, the defense is pretty well in control now. Although Ross Grable might have kind of a couple of difficult choices. So he likes to switch to a heart, which is not that unreasonable. But I think some players
Yeah,
might have tried to pull Declare's trump, switch to a diamond into partner's king. So
yeah. Although this, I think, guarantees untangling all their diamond tricks. I mean, it feels like from Declare's line of play, the partner has strong diamonds, doesn't it? Like Declare has never touched the suit, and he's roughing in his long trump hand.
yep. So heart roughed and over roughed, Declare will be able to. Oh no, they won't. That
I
is
think
Dummy's last heart.
Yeah, Jack of Spades and then a diamond, I think, is going to hold Declare to just the ace of diamonds.
Yeah. Yeah, or just put a diamond through
Or,
immediately. This is also
right.
fine.
This is fine, yeah.
So this will be down two, and given that four hearts didn't make in the other room, that's going to be a pretty large swing. 11 imps to. Let's see, who's on whose team?
I think 12 imps, right? 500 and 150. Oh,
Uh,
sorry. I saw minus 150 and ran this minus 150.
oh yeah, 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 yeah. No, it was just down one.
Yeah.
So 11 to, I assume Hammond.
Um,
Yes. Hammond is east west in
yeah,
the blue room. Yeah, I know Ross Grable plays on Bob's team frequently.
right.
I mean, he was there when we played against him.
Right. Playing with Itabashi, I think. Or is he
He was playing with Howie
or is he
Weinstein.
playing with Howie? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, who I think a little surprisingly was not playing in this tournament.
Weinstein? Hmm.
Yeah. Or like I don't think he played in the Open either, unless I missed something.
I don't recall seeing him, but that was like ages ago that the open
Yeah.
trials took place. All right.
Essentially, so I heard a little bit about how the time penalties work, and one thing that's annoying that I think will probably be changed for next year is you don't, even though your side has its own time bank, you don't get to know you're in time trouble until um I think there's some threshold when your side is in time trouble that they give you a countdown clock, but you don't have it throughout the match.
Oh. Huh. Because, well, I don't know if Aaron fully elaborated, but he suggested that you do get to see your clock when you're playing. So I wonder if it's they tried it this way um, because Aaron
The
had played in a
impression,
different event.
no, because I was with Chris, who's Aaron's teammate, and Chris was the one who assigned this.
Wrong Aaron.
Oh, Aaron Jones, you're talking about.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I see.
But
Um, Yeah, the impression that I got from Chris was that when your side gets into time trouble, it gives you a countdown clock of um, 8 minutes per board for your pair,
mhm,
which doesn't
okay,
make a ton of sense because I think that's the allocation anyway. Isn't it 120 minutes for 15 boards?
yeah,
So I didn't totally understand it, but I think the bottom line was you don't get it from the moment the set starts. You get it from when the system has decided that you need to start speeding up.
huh, okay. Well, that is a little silly, but
Yeah.
well, um, so in the blue room, I'm just kind of looking at it. I mean, obviously, Declare can make six clubs. Well, six clubs is going to make because the club's split. You can knock out the spade ace and pitch a diamond on the other spade, but it does seem as if three no trump is going to be the contract in both rooms on that board. You don't really have the values to be in slam, so I would be curious if some of the other tables reached it in any of the rooms, but looks like we might have
27
to build a
highs
push.
off the key card and a shaky 9 card fit. This is not a slam you want to get to.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so Blue Room looks like they're on their way to some number of tricks. I mean, Declara will be testing the clubs, and when those come home, it does feel pretty natural to just go King of Hearts, Jack of Hearts. Um,
Yeah, I would guess that's how they got to 460 in the other room.
I don't think. Oh, whoops! There's my alarm. Yeah. So I went to sleep at like 6 a.m. and then at 9:30, someone burst into my apartment and was just like, "Hey, we got a call that you need something fixed," and I was just like, "Nope, it wasn't me." So
Jeez. So you got swatted only as the building handyman?
yeah, basically that's exactly what happened, and so then I was just like, well, I guess I'm awake. May as well do some coverage of the team trials. Um,
I think I told you what happened to me before the Grand Nationals on Saturday. There was
Uh,
a
yeah.
there was a party, in like my apartment faces you know, open space where like every building has backyard access. So one of the houses with backyard access, not mine, was having some kind of party until like 1:15. And then as soon as that ended, there was a major fire across the street.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
You had mentioned.
like the ground floor bodega just caught fire at 1:30 in the morning.
Completely
I
unrelated
don't
to the partiers, right?
Well, considering that it was across the street and on a different block, completely unrelated. I don't know it was open at that hour. A lot of these places are 24 hours, so it's possible, and they all have like grills. So it's possible they were open and there was a grill fire, but it's also possible that they were closed and someone just forgot to shut the equipment off. I don't
Yeah.
actually know what the story was.
Well, we had a bit of
But
a
yeah, that was
tense moment.
exciting, and we lost by 80.
So we had a bit of a tense
Probably
moment
some
in the green
coincidence.
room. I, I mean, Declare played the hand very quickly to lead a club to the queen in that end position. I was, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens when the blue room catches up on that board because I didn't really follow the play. Declare was in three no trump, but in the end, Declare was one trick short and could have taken a club finesse. But it looks like elected to play for some sort of combined chances of the jack of clubs falling or the diamonds breaking. And
Which
diamonds,
board are you looking at?
it was board eight. Um, so
40. Well, they made 430 though.
right, yeah, the jack of clubs fell, and so then Declare had all the rest of the tricks. But if the jack did not drop, then Declare was a trick
Oh,
short
I
unless the
see.
diamonds split. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens in the blue room when they get caught up to that board. I mean, maybe something was marked or Declare had a inference about the distribution or high cards on the hand. Was not paying that close attention, but
I
seems
think he
like
was just combining. I think he was just combining his chances of either minus two jack coming down for his ninth trick.
sure, yeah, that seems reasonable. Um, in the blue room, it looks like Declare is on his way to 10 tricks. I think for me, this was a little expected after the opening diamond lead. It seemed like the defense was going to get their diamonds established before Declare could both knock out the spade ace and knock out the heart queen. So Declare did drop an imp on this board, but not a big deal. It's not match points, not board a match. So one up to Hammond there, who's started to pull away a little bit. I mean, it's only 13 imps, 13 and a quarter. But board 7 in the blue room, that's kind of expected to be the push at 4 spades down 2. I wonder what happens if we open a south, west bids 4 spades, and north doubles. Do you think we're supposed to pass with the south cards?
Sorry, I was actually looking at the play on the previous board. Sorry, you're what was the so it goes a no trump. Sorry, what was the hypothetical that you were asking?
Well, south opens 4 spades, double. And what do we do as south? Are we sitting for the double?
I think if you've opened a weak no trump, absolutely. If you've opened a suit, probably. You do have ace king ace.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, that might happen. It might not happen. But let's take a look at what's going on in the green room because we have kind of a bit of an exciting auction. Looks like North South have found a diamond fid and have elected to save over the opponent's 4 spade contract. A little surprising to me that South has elected to save with 2 aces and jack fourth of spades. I mean, maybe they were going to make 4 spades, but I don't think so.
Is it possible that he thinks if his partner turns up with a spade void that he has a chance to make it?
Maybe it still feels like you have 2 hearts and a club to lose.
It feels that way to me too, but baby figures is down one at worst opposite that layout.
Yeah. So
But
I
yeah,
mean,
it does. It does look like a pretty big action. I mean, realistically, though, you expect them to make it. Well, I guess the spade jack is a big question mark. If you score that, you're probably going to take two aces and the jack of spades. But then a partner has a trick and a spade void, then you are making five diamonds, right? Whether it's the king of hearts or king of clubs.
yeah, but how often do you think your partner's gonna have a spade void?
I mean, reasonably often, right? His maximum length is one.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I don't know, but like I feel like the chance they're making is actually higher than it looks with this hand because the king of diamonds is almost certainly not a trick.
Mm-hmm.
And if partner does have anything, then you're often going to be in decent shape at five diamonds.
Sure. Sure.
You know, you could have a trick and you still don't beat four spades because the jack of spades doesn't come into play.
Yeah. All right.
Meanwhile, I do not care for West sequence in the other room.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of weird to preempt and then bid again.
I
Um,
mean, it works here because four spades is a good save, but and he was obviously hoping to buy it in three spades, and now that he hasn't, he's judged well to be saving, and judged extremely well now since they got to the five level. And I think they're going to make this right. They're going to lose a spade and a diamond, and that's it. But gave a side a free shot to collect a huge win.
yeah, so how confident are we that they're going to make this? Let's see. I don't think this is
Uh,
making.
well, the queen of clubs dropping helps you because that's one of the diamonds, right?
Yeah, but I mean, first of all, it's going to go king of spades, ace of spades. And for Declare to not go down immediately, he needs to ruff with the seven of hearts.
Right.
Uh, so I don't think Declare is necessarily overcoming that first hurdle. But even if he
Yeah.
does, pulling three rounds of trumps and pitching one of the diamonds on the clubs and pitching and roughing a diamond, he's still going to have a diamond loser.
I was just down with stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was true. I was thinking that maybe he could um try to, reverse the dummy and rough a club and two spades in the north hand, but that's not going to work either.
No, West can
I guess
rough.
it works if he right, West can rough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so huge result for did we decide as the Hammond team, Dogs
Yep.
and Grable?
Yeah. Yeah. So ever since we showed up, they've been doing quite well, the Hammond squad. Mostly in this blue room. I don't really blame South. I mean, his partner, so he opened a no trump, his partner showed a heart suit, and he has this massive heart fit. His partner elected to double four spades, which.
Yeah, so the card, card showing, and North was an unpassed hand.
Mhm.
So, you know, so I think with like South having a super maximum and three spades, obviously a really great holding there, three little spades.
Yeah. He was probably expecting something like a sixth heart from his partner most of the time, and um, I guess North
Yeah.
was a little creative with the four heart bid, but
Yeah, but he was obviously under a lot of pressure after three spades.
mhm.
I think, kind of a reasonable auction for North South all around, just a little bit trapped by, um, two good decisions by West to give North South room to find their fit, and then take this good save and just a little bit trapped by the ranges.
Good decisions, yes.
Yeah. Winning decision, certainly.
Yeah, yeah. One I guess point could be that as south, you can look at this auction from west, and there's only really two options. Either west is walking the dog and hoping that that you do double him, and therefore he's going to collect, plus 790 or whatever in his contract. Or West has bid three spades because he had a preemptive-ish hand, but wasn't confident in his ability to take 10 tricks, and now he's saving over four hearts. And in that case, I think you do want to pass it out. Partners double despite the large heart fit. So anyway, okay, we do get to this board 8 finally that I was a little curious about.
Yeah, I think Declare's play at the end there was driven by possessing the 10 of diamonds. So he was going to make it, any 3-3 diamond split, Jack double ten of diamonds, or Jack double ten of clubs, and then taking the finesse is an all or nothing play on that hand because he's just down if it loses.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, but I guess we'll see what happens in this room. Anyway, we'll leave them to the auction. I suspect with 12 opposite 13 and no real fit, north-south will end up in 3 no trump. Let's take a look at the green room, who have once again ended up in 5 diamonds, although this time they're not doubled. 2 heart preempt by East. After a takeout double and 3 diamonds, kind of Lebensal style, showing some values, we get all the way up to 5 diamonds.
Yeah, so south with a hand that looks like it could have been 3 no trump, decided not to because he only has 1 heart stopper that he can't hold up.
Yeah, so it looks like a pretty good decision by South here, well, both North and South, to play in the diamond suit, because even if they didn't get this friendly Jack of Spades lead, Declare could throw a spade on the 3rd round of clubs, pull 2 rounds of trumps, ruff a heart in the dummy, and still
in fact,
make
the
11
clubs
tricks.
stand up for 4 tricks with that Jack third dropping in the West hand.
Yeah, kind of irrelevant, but
Right.
Declare does have an extra club. So this will be 11 tricks. And the auction's underway in the blue room. So club by North, a diamond by South. We expect to see a heart by North, probably. Even if you're allowed to bypass 4-card majors, I don't think you want to do so with North's hand.
Well, they're weak no trumpers, so 1 heart is going to guarantee an unbalanced hand.
Ah, okay. True, yep. So 1 heart by North, showing an unbalanced hand. I imagine that can't include 4 by 1s, because they would open a diamond with that shape.
I think that's probably correct. Well, you could be 4-4 in the majors, but not 4 by 1s that way.
Right, yeah.
4-4-1-4, of course, you would open a club.
Yep. East is thinking. East is thinking over a heart. I don't really understand East thinking over a heart. This is one of those spots where if you wanted to bid a spade, bid it over a club. If you pass and then bid a spade, you're just, helping out the opponents a bunch.
It's possible, in fact, that wasn't a tank that, for whatever reason, West requested to hold, quote unquote, hold the tray, which is something you can do. Oh no, sorry, North and East are on the same side. But sorry, so maybe North or East decided to hold the tray before passing it or something.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, fair point.
So obviously, as you say, overcalling a spade there would be totally insane. Although he was thinking about it.
Yeah, so that is a good point, because
spade.
I was going to say that behind screens, the way it works is that North and East are sitting on the same side, and you don't want the auction to proceed very quickly if you think that is a spot where like a difficult decision could have been made and you don't want to give away a ton of information. In this position, I don't really see why East would slow down the play to hold the tray for just a one heart bid in this scenario. But
Yeah, I agree, but yeah, just throwing it out there as one more possibility. I mean, the system does have that as an option where, where one side can request that the other side not see the virtual tray coming across,
right, right.
which is a very clever thing to have programmed in.
Yeah. Um, so North South appear to have found their club fit on board 8 over here. The fact that South knows North is unbalanced, South more or less knows North's exact shape after this 2 diamond bid. Looks like 1, 4, 3, 5. And so 3 clubs just suggesting that they have a club fit. I mean, North could have extras, remember. Anything shy of a 2 heart jump shift, I think, is in North's range.
Yeah, and I don't really know this pair style that well, but generally, weak no trumpers play a fairly sound opening style because the weak no trump does some of the work for them at the one level.
Mm. All right, we do get to 3 now, and after this auction, I expect the same spade lead that we got in the other room. There it is. So Declare again, knock out the Ace of Hearts. And I expect the defense to establish their spade trick.
And obviously, good news for Declare that East can't win immediately and play a spade through the remaining Jack 10 third.
Yeah,
maybe it doesn't matter because this way East gets to actually keep its Ace of Clubs entry.
Am I missing something? Maybe the other room didn't get a spade lead. Don't the defense just have 5 tricks after this?
So Declare has 2 spades and 3 hearts is 5 and 3 diamonds is 8.
Yep.
So let's see, this is board 8, correct?
Yeah.
So they played it again from the south side, and West did lead the 3 of spades.
Mm-hmm.
A heart went to the king. Oh, for some reason, Paul Lewis won the Ace of Hearts and decided that his side would be best served by returning a heart.
Wow, we get the same defense here.
I don't understand this. I mean, I do sort of understand that Jack 10 third of spades looks a little scary, but...
Well, South's hand's concealed, but the...
Oh, right, that's true. Yeah, it seems like Smith should just solve this problem as well, right? East has long spades and an entry. Surely he wants more spades.
Yep. That sounds right to me. Because the defense could have taken... I mean, Declare only has 8 tricks, and East has the club ace. Now, Declare could have solved this problem by playing on clubs instead of hearts, but that feels very unnatural.
Yeah. Yeah, particularly because you want to start on blocking the hearts as well, as in the process of setting up those tricks.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it feels kind of natural. Cast some hearts, cross to a diamond, lead a club up in case it's Ace third on side, it's Ace singleton on side rather, or Jack singleton on side. But singleton Ace on side, you actually get to take 4 club tricks.
Yep. Well, one more imp for Hammond. Hammond is solidifying their lead by picking up 1 imp here and there on a few of these boards, but that was, I think, a big miss for both defensive sides, the Lewises in the green room and Dunnets and Grable in the blue room. Both of them found the right lead against 3 no trump, but then maybe didn't really stop to consider, well, I guess as you say, Smith would have solved all the problems for the defense there.
Yeah, or at least certainly would have effectively transferred the blame.
Yeah. Okay, so we're up to board 9 in the blue room here. 5 diamonds doubled in the south is where we ended up in the green room, off kind of a one-man solo mission by Neil Chambers over there, just bidding all the way up to 5 diamonds on his own.
Yeah, so I'm sure this first round of the auction is going to be the same. A diamond double, three diamonds, three spades.
Yeah, that looks pretty natural to me. I mean, I presume North is going to bid 3 diamonds. If you flip the major suits, like if North had spades and diamonds instead of hearts and diamonds, then I could see an argument for bidding a spade instead. But with hearts, the opponents have spades. You may as well outcompete them in your long suit than in
Yeah.
your heart fed if you have one. So there's 3 diamonds. I mean, East is a passed hand, which I think is a main reason why 3 spades is a very attractive bid here. If East was an unpassed hand, I might be a little worried about putting 3 spades on the table. I would probably
Maybe.
still do it, but it's a little scarier because we could have hands that are like 5 or even 6 card spade suits.
I mean, maybe you would make a responsive double, and figure the three hearts. At least you can correct hearts to spades as many times as you need to.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly you have to do something as East, right?
Yep. Well, he's thinking about it. I mean, it's very possible Ross Grable is just a fairly, what's the word we use? Deliberate player.
Careful. He's very
Careful,
careful.
yes. Um, Not slow, just very thoughtful. So there's 3 spades.
Yeah, so I did hear that in the last segment of the Dinkin Rosenthal match that the table Dinkin was playing at, which was against Walenkin and Lin, all four players, including Dinkin, agreed that they would speedball it to see how fast they could play. 15 board set, I think the goal was to do it in under an hour.
Uh-huh.
So I think, yeah, even the Dinkin team recognized that they were not going to pull it out down 150 with 1/4 to go.
Yeah.
And so it does
Reasonable.
make seem three spade bid.
Okay, so I mean I like this decision a lot better by Woldowski than I do Neil Chambers' decision in the other room. Um, Adam is probably looking at the vulnerability and thinking, "Hey, I don't know what West's hand looks like, right? West might have a hand where he was too good to overcall heart, for example, and so made a takeout double, and maybe the opponents actually have a big heart fit. So he was just kind of preempting the opponents from finding 4 of a major. And on the off chance that it goes 5 diamonds, 5 spades by West, he's going to be very happy with the way the auction turned out. So,
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
you know, I'm not sure 5 diamonds would have occurred to me too much. I probably would have thought about it a little bit, but I certainly like that choice rather than passing, letting the opponents find their spade fit, and then electing to bid over that.
Yeah, I think the one argument for the sequence taken in the other room was sometimes they just don't get to a game, and then you're also very happy.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's true. I mean, 3 spades might pass out, which is definitely
Like,
possible.
right, like give West, as appears somewhat likely from your hand, a normal takeout double, but that's 3-4-1-5. He'll probably pass for lack of anything better to do. If he raises, I think Adam, on that auction, having passed over three spades would also pass over four spades, but maybe not.
Hmm.
You know. Because yeah, like in the other room, certainly it was possible. Like if West was sitting there with a 3-4-1-5, 15 or 16 count, I think you would have to raise.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, definitely agree. Well, we're going to get the same down two. This was good defense by Mitch Dunitz. He elected to lead the ace of spades. In the other room, Paul Lewis had led one of his high hearts. And after leading the spade ace, which held, he switched to the king of hearts. There's this queen and dummy. So East was able to give count on this trick, that nine of hearts. West knew there was no heart ruff and could therefore switch to clubs. So, good defense all around. Looks like we're maintaining pace where the green room is about 2 boards ahead of the blue room. Uh, we didn't really see the auction all that well on board 10, but they managed to reach 5 diamonds. Looks like a 2 club opener to me. I mean, it's 21, no 5 card suit, but you also have no jacks. I would definitely upgrade this into the 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 no range.
I would not because the king queen doubleton is a liability, but I wouldn't get mad if my partner did it.
I will note that
I think with
in the
sorry, you'll note that
in the green room they had elected to open east hand 2 hearts, and so we had a bit of a different auction. And when 2 hearts south doubled. Now I'm recalling what the auction was, but okay, Woldowski does open 2 no trump on the south. This is probably going to result in their side getting to 3 now. Now, it will be difficult for West to find a heart lead, I think, but maybe he will. We'll see.
Yeah, I think Toby Sakala might find it, but Mitch Dunitz will not.
Well, an argument for leading a heart is our hand is so weak we have no side entry. So unless unless our partner has something like King Jack third of spades and Declare has Ace Doubleton, we're probably not setting up our spade suit. It does feel natural to lead a spade though. Okay, he leads a spade very quickly.
Yeah, partner could have Ace third of spades, even Ace fourth, right?
Yep.
Ace
third is
we're
not
still
good
more
enough.
likely to set up.
Yeah.
Well, it's good enough if Declare has King Doubleton and partner has another entry.
Right. Yeah. No, it's good enough as long as Declare has a Doubleton with the honor, but that's kind of the only scenario.
Yeah, I think though, I feel like the bigger picture thing is we're more likely to set up our spades than we are to find partner with a suit he can set up and guess correctly which one it is.
Yeah. That is true. That is true. So 3 no trump, not really in any danger, and Lewis will pick back up a couple of those imps, I suspect.
Yeah, just for being in the higher scoring contract with approximately the same number of tricks.
Yep. All right. Let's take a look at what's going on in the green room. Wow. Actually, Mitch Dunitz does find a heart switch eventually. Looks like Grable had suggested playing hearts, but it's a little bit too late now. So over in the green room, I mean, North's going to open a spade. South's probably going to bid 2 spades, and I wonder what West is going to do.
I don't know because it also depends on his methods, right? If you're playing equal level conversion, double is pretty attractive.
Yeah.
Like certainly if that were in my arsenal, I would be thrilled to do it. If we find a heart fit, we could easily have a game even opposite light values.
Right.
Yes, the Chambers is treating it as a 3-card limit raise.
Yeah, it might depend on your opening bid style. This is going to let West kind of easily come in with 2 diamonds, which seems pretty normal.
Yeah, again, I think if you could double to show possibly this hand type, you would certainly do it.
Right.
Although I think equal level conversion has kind of dropped out of a lot of people's a lot of people's system card. Like it doesn't seem to be that popular anymore.
Right. Yeah. Okay, what's the alert on two spades here? 14 to 16.
Huh.
So they
The
must be
agreement
playing
that
intermediate twos, right?
yeah. Or I wonder if they just have the agreement that um that is their partnership style just to pass here with the six spade, but that seems kind of crazy. Yeah, I would guess you're right because it's just not possible. They're playing a style where they're not allowed to rebid freely with the six card suit.
Right. Well, South has made a couple of kind of more aggressive choices than maybe I would, but it might depend on opening style in this room. So, I mean, after making the three card limit raise, South bid three diamonds, presumably suggesting even more extras, other than just like jumping to four spades directly. I'm not really sure what South's three diamond was, in fact.
Yeah, it's a little hard to tell. I suspect there was probably some partnership meeting that we're not privy to.
Yeah. And the north south hands fit pretty well together. I mean, ace jack fourths opposite voids and both of the minors can start roughing clubs. It's going to get a little tricky. Declara doesn't have great ways back to his hand to try and rough the club suit. Like, even if he roughs a club and leads a heart, West technically could pop up with the heart ace and switch to trumps, which could prevent a couple of roughs.
There's actually a fairly interesting board in the blue room.
Okay. Yeah, let's head over
So
there.
in this
I expect
room-
four spades to make in the green room, so let's see.
So in this room, north south never took a call, and in the other room, east west never took a call.
Oh, that's funny. So it does look like Mitch Dunnett's
And the
opened
and the and the
11.
opening bid was the same in both rooms.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's not surprising. So Mitch Dunnett's opened a club with his 11 count, something that I like to do in general.
Right, which Paul Lewis did not. Probably, I think we saw this in the mix. That partnership generally is, kind of playing a more conservative, the way they started playing bridge 30, 40 years ago, playing together.
Right. Well, the fourth best club lead from North is
Yeah.
not going to do great for their side, although maybe it didn't necessarily cost too much. Declara does get their 10 of clubs at trick one and is going after the diamond suit. Looks pretty natural to do so.
Yeah, I think diamond, started diamond when this holds. I suspect he'll play a spade to the king. But he might drive her to the queen also.
I mean, I might just like continue diamonds. We know that we can set up another trick in the
Yeah.
suit.
Well, probably right. I guess he's could. Oh yeah, I guess we can always have another trick in the suit.
Yeah, but okay. It is convenient to take finesses that we otherwise couldn't. We can always leave the king of diamonds out of our hand.
Right.
So,
Right. The siding in diamonds no longer matters after that first trick.
yeah. So, spade to the king. That holds.
Yeah, I think I'm a little surprised actually that he played the second spade so quickly.
Yeah, I am too. Maybe
Like he might have done it eventually because it feels natural, but I think there's an argument for all three non-club suits at that point.
Yeah, one of the things that looks attractive to me about a diamond, and the reason that I was kind of drawn to it, and I mean, maybe this is a little bit bias from seeing all the cards, but it's also just the fact that I know I want North to be on lead. I don't want to be putting South on lead who can play clubs through me. And we know that a diamond is going to put North on lead and is not really going to like affect the number of tricks that the defense can take on the hand. I mean, North is always going to get his ace queen of diamonds eventually. So I'm working to set up an extra trick, the 10 of diamonds and dummy, and I'm preventing the danger hand from getting in.
I think from West's point of view, it's not 100% that the ace queen of diamonds are north, right?
I mean, North definitely has the diamond queen.
I agree with that, but I think he could have the queen without the ace.
Yeah, it's possible. I still
He would have no reason to hop
expect.
up with queen third.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I
like,
mean it's
South would have to duck the ace in a position where South knows that he wants to get in and put a club through.
that's true.
So I would expect South to pause and take some time before ducking the diamond ace. I'm pretty confident North has both the ace and queen.
Yeah, I think that's extremely likely. I don't know that you can 100% bank on it.
Well, if we're that worried, we can lead another low diamond towards the 10, I guess. But alright, looks like Declare has managed to set up that diamond eventually. Um, North is just going to have to cash the ace of clubs at this point. Nothing more that he can do. And
Yeah,
Declare will
declare
end
as
up
extra
down
winners
one.
at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good result for the Hammond team. 2 imps. So taking a look at the green room, who is on board 14, still a little bit ahead of their counterparts in the blue room. We got no Trump opener in the south. 15 to 18. Whoa. 15 to 18. That's real old school. I guess this is the seniors after all. That makes sense. So we
Yeah,
get Stamen.
that is shocking for a pair at this level.
Yeah.
I mean, North and North South are an excellent pair.
Mm-hmm.
They've been playing together a very long time, so maybe they just never, you know, then never got into this kind of more modern style.
Yeah. Well, I know Trump, we get 2 clubs, some sort of, I mean, it gets alerted as two-way. I'm not sure why the alert is could be game forcing. When is 2 clubs in response to a no Trump a hand that is never game forcing? That would be weird.
Maybe it's like either garbage statement or game forcing and use something else with with all their invitational hands.
Huh. Interesting.
I mean, I can't quite imagine what that method would look like, but you know,
Yep. Well, North-South found the heart fit. I mean, the Queen of Hearts does not come down, but the Queen of Diamonds does. So I think after a bit of fiddling around, Declare's probably going to end up with 10 tricks. It might depend on how the defense goes. I mean, if Paul Lewis leads a low club now, or taps the dummy in clubs, Declare might be a bit worried about some potential 4-1 heart splits and could end up
yeah, but can
conceding an extra trick.
well, can he play? Let's see. So he tapping now. Can he play, like a spade to the ace and then a low club and then a low heart toward the jack?
Yeah, definitely could, but the issue is that if diamonds aren't set up, he might risk losing a club trick if he tries to pull trumps. This is strong defense from Paul Lewis so far.
Yeah, for sure.
Probably kind of aided by Linda Lewis's Queen of Clubs play at Trick 1. An important discussion to have with your partner, because some people would play that as, suit preference or something, or they can play it a whole variety of different ways. But in this case, since tapping the dummy looks like a viable option, the Queen of Clubs presumably was just showing attitude in the suit and showing the jack, letting Paul know that it was safe to lead a low club.
there's also context here, right? Like soup reference for spades doesn't really make sense given the South has shown a strong no trump and like a sound strong no trump, right? So, I think East can be fairly confident that our partner is going to know that her hand is light.
Yeah. Okay. Declare does elect to cross in spades, and I, I have the feeling Declare is just planning on roughing two clubs
It
in the
might just
dummy.
rough a club now, yeah. Yeah, I think he can also be pretty confident that it's not going to get over roughed, at least not this round.
Right, yeah, the Jack of Clubs, or the Queen of Clubs play was pretty revealing. So while I think, has helped the defense find, a strong plan, it is also helping
Mhm.
Declare know that the clubs are safe to rough and dummy.
Right.
So,
Yeah, so now he'll try to rough on with the jack and sort of figure if it loses, maybe the 10 comes down anyway.
yep.
Maybe it's a rough and queen third. Obviously here, wow, I'm wrong.
Okay. Like, you could technically say that it was a finesse one way or another.
Right,
Um, roughing with the seven or roughing with the jack, but I think the jack just has to be better because if the seven gets over roughed, you might still lose a trump trick. If the jack gets
right.
over roughed, I mean, at least the hearts are unblocked. Anyway,
Yeah, you might be able to play through as diamonds exiting and, sit back and wait.
right. So jack of hearts to the
You've
ace.
only lost one trick so far.
Yeah, yeah. So jack of hearts to the ace. I was curious if Declara was gonna try and like cash some diamonds before pulling a second trump, just in case the hearts were 4-1. Because like technically now, if you misguess the diamond suit, you're gonna end up losing a diamond and two trumps.
If the trumps had been 4-1 the whole
Yeah,
time. Yeah, and actually, do you think the seven of hearts holding increases that meaningfully? It probably does, right?
I think so. One of the things that I forgot to note until just now is that Linda Lewis pitched a diamond on the fourth round of clubs, and so I think Declare is going to be pretty confident that the diamonds are coming home after that discard.
Right.
So 450, and Green Room is moving on to the last board of the set. Looks like it could be an exciting one. There's a bit of distribution going around the table. We'll have to see how many diamonds North elects to bid after West's opening bid.
Yeah, so East West have an easy six clubs.
Yeah, but are they going to get there? Because if North sticks in a large number of diamonds, and I don't know what a large number is, but 3 diamonds or even 4 diamonds, it could
I
put a
like
lot of
three red
pressure.
white.
Yeah, you are vulnerable. Okay, 3 diamonds is there. So what do we do with the east hand? Do we just bid 4 diamonds? Give up on 3 now?
Brutal problem.
Yeah. Okay, 4 diamonds. That's probably going to make things fairly easy for East West to reach the slam. And,
Yeah, I think West can just keycard now, unless East four diamonds, took away that option.
I mean, I have a hit. Like, if I'm West, I don't really want to keycard. Yeah, I like the 4 heart bid a lot better because I just have key cards. I mean, I have the singleton diamond that partner might not know about, but I think a lot of the times partner's 4 diamond bid is going to guarantee a diamond control.
Right. Yeah, here, yeah, he unfortunately was kind of
Oof.
trapped East who didn't want to cube in a non-ace and doesn't have a diamond control. And also, I think if East cubed four spades there, without the ace, they would have to have a diamond control. So, of course, we can see from West Hand that he doesn't care. but I certainly understand why East would choose not to.
Yeah, okay. So four diamonds is still quite a big bid. I mean, and West is looking at this diamond control and maybe thinking like, is this all partner needs for the slam to make? I think I would probably bump five clubs to six. We have an extra club. We haven't promised a fourth club, but we do have it. And we have all of these controls that partner, has
Right.
suggested
Well,
with four diamonds, we might be making a slam.
yeah. In fact, here, this for the same reason that East could cubit four spades. West can sort of know that East isn't going to be allowed to cubit since he's the one with both, the ace of spades and the first round diamond control, and South didn't raise, so he knows that East probably does have a diamond problem. So, East West should know that East failure to cubit doesn't imply anything.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But
Okay.
it's a tough auction.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely a difficult auction. I mean, East did very well, I think, with the four diamond bid to start off. And then they just kind of ran out of bidding room.
Ultimately on this hand, uh, like someone had to make a decision to commit the entire partnership, and it was very difficult for either of them to do so.
Yeah.
For West to commit with effectively minimum opening, or East to commit with no key cards. I mean, maybe that is an argument for East Blackwooding,
Mm-hmm.
but again, you have this diamond problem.
Yeah. Because as East, you're going to find out that you're off a key card, which is absolutely the diamond ace. And then you're just going to have
Right.
to put it in six clubs anyway. All right.
Right.
Let's look
Yeah. So we'll
at.
see how they handle it in the other room.
Yeah. All right, we're down to just one table. That was the end of play in the open room. So we now have the closed room, finishing off the last three boards of play. And so Hammond has pulled out to a little bit of a lead. They have 25 imps, a bit over 25 imps in their favor right now. But 45 more boards to play even after this segment. The sixth segment of play, 6 out of 8, will be starting up shortly. There's going to be a bit of a break in between rounds. So this board in the other room, I mean, we had kind of mentioned, I had kind of mentioned, I thought South took a few slightly more aggressive actions than maybe I would have, but could be conditional on their opening bid style. And we did see that North-South in the other room were playing this like 15 to 18 no trump. So maybe that's a good argument for South upgrading this hand into a 3-card limit raise. It's definitely close. Singleton club is nice. I'm not thrilled with 3 small trumps, but at least we have some decent spot cards in that suit.
As you recall, we also saw that North's two spades over the interference showed a very sound two spade hand. So maybe there was also some implication, as you say, maybe playing intermediates, vulnerable or something, where South had a partnership method reason to upgrade their hand.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I suspect that he just liked it because North probably could still just had a normal 5-3-3-2-13 count. So I think he probably just decided that his hand was on the border and read he would, take the more aggressive instead of the more conservative action.
Right.
And meanwhile, Adam is taking quite a long time with the same decision.
Yeah, I wonder what the thought is, because this doesn't feel like a spot where you spend time thinking about whether or not to show this as the 3-card limit raise or just bid 2 spades. Okay, he finally elects to bid 1 no.
Yeah, so making the normal 3-card limit raise with the south hand.
Yeah. Well, one of the downsides I would say to the 1 no trump is that a lot of people play it semi-forcing. Adam has alerted it as such here. And if one no passes out, you're very sad because one no trump could easily go down, whereas you obviously have a great hand for play in a suit contract. But similar auction, West overcalls two diamonds, North now at this table, not having the gadget of two spades showing extras, has to jump to three spades, which I think South is going to be pretty happy with. So he will bump to four. I mean, maybe on a good day, South could cubid to indicate that he has this 3-card limit raise type hand, and he does. He elects to cubid 4 diamonds. But I don't think North is going to have any interest whatsoever in looking for slam. I mean, he's just going to need South to have way too much stuff for slam to have play, so he does just sign off.
Yeah, I think right. Even opposite, let's say King of Hearts, King of Clubs, Ace of Diamonds. You're still not in great shape.
Right, you need the spade hook through the overcaller.
Right. Yeah, and even then, you also might need a spade break if you have to rough a club or two.
Yep. All right, so same diamond opening lead. We will probably see a similar line of play. We didn't catch the tail end of the play in the other room because something exciting was happening, I think in this room, but Declare started out by roughing clubs in the dummy, eventually taking 10 tricks. I mean, a natural line of play is to go club ace, club rough, diamond rough, club rough. We'll see if Declare tries that. It's a little scary to rough a diamond, but I think you can survive by roughing a diamond with the 7 of spades.
Yeah.
Okay, and Declare is going quite safe in this room by roughing a club with the 9 of spades. Well, so I thought this line of play actually didn't work if the defense was double dummy. Oh, maybe that's not true. The Jack of Hearts comes down. But I was thinking if West hopped up with the heart ace and put a spade through, it could deny Declare.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Declare could win the ace of spades and rough a club anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. And unblock the heart and rough a club and then take the King of Hearts if you need to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, yeah, never mind that. That would be your last club, I guess, right?
Yeah. Well, Declare's going to be pretty happy now to just pull trumps from the top, losing a heart and a club and the king of spades. Same 10 tricks as in the other room. Possibly a very similar line of play as well. Looks like match point wise, Declare probably dropped a trick in the play here. Should have been able to rough that 4th club in the dummy if he was a little bit more careful with managing his spot cards and entries. But it's imps. Don't really care about the overtrick, so push board. 2 boards to play in the segment. And I don't really remember board 14. I think board 15 was the big club slam that has the potential for a fairly large swing. Once again going towards Hammond, because the Lewis pair in the other room did not manage to find the club slam. Ah, yes, this was the hand where North-South got to 4 hearts, and West found the good defense of tapping the dummy in clubs. Although everything was really working for Declare, so it was not that dangerous.
And here, of course, the weak no trump coming back into play.
Right, yeah. So South has a bounce 16, opens a club, and is planning to rebid a no trump to show the 15 to 17 range. I think this is fairly common playing a weak no trump, where even if you don't have a hand that's game forcing with a 4-card major, you just respond a diamond to a club.
Right. Well, here, if partner does rebid a no trump, you are planning to game force.
Yeah, yeah. So North bids a diamond, South bids a no trump, showing 15 to 17. Now North can bid two hearts to, I guess, pattern out, or maybe they have something more sophisticated over a no trump. I suppose that would
Yeah,
be
like
preferable.
right, like right, he'll do whatever the system tells him to do, but I don't really know what standard, weak no Trump has become so unpopular in this country that I don't really know what people do.
Okay, so we see two diamonds artificial game force. I mean, maybe this is some sort of like XYZ type thing where he could have bid two clubs as a relay to show invitational hands, and two diamonds is just artificial game forcing. This should let them find their 4-4 heart fit and right side the contract, because I think South will be able to bid two hearts now. So
Just
there it
trying to think,
is.
are there any other top level pairs playing a 12 to 14 no Trump at this point?
Playing a 12 to 14 no trump.
Like, are there any other, first rate weak no Trump pairs left in this country? I don't think so.
I know I've seen some weak no trumps in these trials from other pairs. I don't recall if they were strong pairs or not.
Well, but also some of those might have been precision pairs.
Oh, yeah, actually, that's a completely fair point. I do recall the 11 to 13 range, though. And that's not a like common precision thing, I don't think.
Hmm.
But I
Yeah, I
just don't
think
remember who it was. It could have been Shan.
yeah. Oh, that's possible.
I
Yeah,
don't
Shannon
remember.
Dwyer or Shannon whoever. Yeah.
Yeah, Shannon, I guess Jenny Wolpert. No, Shannon,
Right.
yeah, whoever it was. Anyway, we get the same four heart contract, probably gonna pass out. Kind of worth noting, Ross Grable didn't take any action at this table. I don't think Linda Lewis took action at her table either with these cards, despite the six card spade suit. The hand just doesn't, it isn't offensive, it isn't defensive, it's just kind of garbage. So,
Right. And I think, there's an argument for opening two spades, even though I wouldn't. Once the opponents have started bidding at the one level, you're just putting yourself at risk without really much of a gain because they've already started to describe their values.
right. So, same opening club lead. We'll see if we find the same club defense tapping the dummy. If dummy doesn't get tapped at trick two, like let's say West switches to a spade, for example, I think Declare is going to have a fairly good time of it. He'll probably just cash the ace king of hearts. When Trump split 3-2, he'll go king of diamonds, diamond. And when that all works, he's just going to lose a heart trick. He's going to be in no danger. So same play, queen of clubs at trick one, and we'll see if that allows Mitch to come up with the same defense as in the other room of low club. I think it's the most testing for Declare on this layout. But we'll see. Yep, pretty quickly finds the low club continuation. So well done, I would say, to both defenders. And now Adam might spend a minute or two to think. He will rough this in the dummy, but then he needs to decide if he's going to adopt a similar line of play to the other room, where they rough two clubs in the north hand, or if he's going to try something else. So club roughed. I suspect roughing two clubs is right. I think we talked about this idea where, yeah, East dumped the queen of clubs, and that's going to allow West to continue the club suit. But the fact that East did not pitch the jack on this trick is going to mean that Declare knows it's safe to rough another club low.
Yeah, sorry, I need to check on something fairly quickly, so I'm gonna put you on hold for just a moment
Sure.
here.
So, kind of as expected, I I thought Adam would take a little bit of time to figure out what his plan was on this deal.
Yeah, and Adam is a very strong declarer and also a pretty careful player, so I'm not surprised that he's taking some time here on what we can see is fairly simple, but obviously from his point of view, there's a, you know, there's a lot one could play safe against.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. And some of the safety lines are probably not very obvious. Like, it's not clear to me what I would do if hearts were 4-1.
Right.
I feel like the play against 4-1 hearts has to be to rough two clubs and then go after diamonds before I touch trumps. But I guess we'll see what he ends up doing. We do have the heart spots where if West actually started with Queen 10 fourth and we're able to rough two clubs in the dummy, we can go King of Diamonds, Diamond to the Ace, exit a Diamond, and a heart can come through. We'll run it around to dummy stiff Jack, and West will be end played into leading into our Ace King 9 in the end. So there's a lot of possibilities for protecting against some of these bad splits, but Declare needs to come up with what he's playing for. And I think one of the important things to realize is that as a Declare in these sorts of scenarios, you always want to take a line of play that makes against good splits. So even if Adam is sitting here thinking, oh, well, they tap the dummy, that tends to indicate that maybe trumps are splitting badly, I should guard against 4-1 hearts. You don't want to go down when hearts are 3-2.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and obviously, if you have a very strong reason to think they're 4-1, then maybe you would take that risk, but on a normal hand, yeah, you just want to do normal things.
right. And so
Like,
I like.
if it had gone like four spades by East or something, now you think that there's a very live possibility of 4-1 trumps, you know.
Yep. Yeah, so I was going to say
Yeah,
I
sorry.
like Adam's plan a little better than what happened in the other
Mhm.
room. He pulled one round of trumps to go back to hand rather than playing a second spade, and now has roughed a club with the Jack of Hearts. So I think both of those things combined is going to give him a bit of extra protection against East over roughing this trick.
Yeah, again, East here taking quite a while for what feels like a fairly routine spade pitch.
Yeah, so the
I
other
think
room
maybe
discarded a diamond, and I like the defense of pitching a spade because, East probably can sense that Declare is trying to guess the diamond suit on this hand,
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
discarding a diamond is going to make it a lot easier. And now we'll see, because this is the point in the hand where Wildowski probably needs to make a decision about what to do. If he plays the spade to the ace and cashes the heart king, and the hearts are 4-1, he's in risk of losing two hearts and a diamond if he doesn't then guess the diamond suit correctly. But
Yeah,
if,
although playing on diamonds instead seems just worse, right?
well, if you if a diamond gets roughed, so for example, let's say he goes diamond to the king, diamond to the ace, and it gets roughed, so that West has uh, the queen of diamonds remaining. Now he's going to go down if when's he going to go down now? I guess he's going to go down if East has roughed with a doubleton heart.
Right, but when East is roughed with three or four hearts, you haven't gained anything.
Okay. I mean, to me, I have the suspicion that playing on diamonds is right, but we'll see what Declare does. Okay, he goes Jack of Diamonds to the king, plays the King of Hearts. Hearts are 3-2, Queen of Diamonds falls. Easy hand, making 11 tricks. Um,
Yeah, because he can't make fewer than 10 at this point, regardless of what's going on.
yeah. Alright, diamond to the queen and ace, and we are on to the last board of the set. Although the round timer is ticking down, they're under
So
15
he did, by the
minutes.
way, he did have a beer in that end position, although I suspect he didn't take it.
Ah, yeah, he could cross back to the spade ace and then play a trump, knocking out West's
Yep.
heart.
While unblocking dummies high diamonds to preserve the seven.
Right, right, right. Okay. So South quickly passing, maybe the least surprising call at this table and at the other table, despite having a 6-card heart suit. First seat red, not really
Yeah.
the kind of hand you want to be preempting with. So we do see the same start to the auction. Club 3 diamonds, and now Ross Grable in the east hand is going to have to make some decisions. We saw a 4 diamond bid at the other table, which I think I like. You're kind of forcing yourself into a difficult high level decision when you make this bid. Like 3 no trump could easily still be the right spot if your partner's sitting over there with like king jack third and diamonds, or ace queen third or something like that. But like, how do you reasonably get to 3 now? You can't really make a negative double. You have no majors.
Right. I mean, at match point, maybe you would try a double, figuring if Ryder makes 3 no trump, fantastic. And if he does anything else, you can correct to clubs. Here, I think you just do the normal thing and don't care if you get to a lower scoring 5 clubs.
Right. Yeah, so
Obviously also the upside of getting to the slam is much more important.
right. So he's giving it some thought. I mean, kind of has the
So,
worst possible diamond holding, right? Like, if East was sitting on 3 small diamonds, you would be a lot happier with your prospects about
right.
reaching 6 clubs. Really giving it some thought. I think those are the only 2 options available: 4 diamonds and double. I mean, pass just obviously is not an option. That might pass out. 4
Right.
clubs or 5
And it,
clubs are not the right numbers of clubs. So,
yeah, so he does make the, not ideal, but no better alternative for a diamond call.
right. And we'll see what West selects to do. I mean, I thought 4 hearts was pretty automatic from the other room, and I think we saw that bid come out fairly quickly. Mitch is giving it some thought. Um, Now, recall, and I don't know how relevant this is, but North and East are on the same side of the screen, and the players at the table don't actually get to see the bids that have been made until it comes back to their side. So there was a lot of time spent between the 3 and 4 diamond bid, and we can probably suspect that East is the one that spent most of the time. Mitch probably knows that as well, but that's
Yeah.
technically unauthorized information to him. So,
Yeah, although it doesn't really, like, it's true. I think he's going to know that partner was the one taking time on that side of the virtual screen, but it doesn't necessarily indicate what the reason was, right?
Yeah.
Like you know something about your partner's hand is hard, which is unauthorized, but that doesn't tell you what the hard thing might be.
Oh yeah, for sure. Um, so I don't think there's any real ethical issue at this point in the auction, but it is kind of worth noting that you know, in a different situation, right? Like maybe it had gone if it had gone like a club double and then some difficult bid, Mitch might not know who was the one who spent time thinking about their decision.
Yeah.
But in this case, I think
I
it's
mean,
pretty clear that Ross is the one who's spending time.
for sure. And I think what's going to happen regardless is whatever East does, West is going to know from the table action that East has a good hand with no diamond control, which is why the four diamond bid was slow. But the auction is going to reveal that anyway.
Mm. Yeah. Okay. So four
I get
diamonds
the other
past
table
four
won five
hearts.
clubs. And,
Yeah, you had mentioned you thought that four spades kind of a little scary to make that bid without a diamond control
right.
in the other room, and yeah, uh, still Ross Grable does make the four spade bid. I mean, I would be very tempted to bid four spades on this hand.
Yeah. This is very
Wow.
surprising to me.
Oh my.
You know, yeah, and again, like now I wonder if Mitch thinks he's being hyper-ethical here because his hand 100% knows what's going on. But I think the auction has also shown what's going on. Like, partner has, yeah, like, partner's auction shows exactly what he has. The unauthorized information doesn't matter at all. Yeah,
Yeah.
that bidding that way that quickly too seems very poor to me. I mean, his side is obviously in a little bit of time trouble here.
Mm-hmm.
There's 7 minutes left, but of the hour and 52 minutes that this table has taken, probably 52 of those minutes were East.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not even exaggerating. So,
Right.
you know, like the way they handle the clocks is the partnership has a time bank rather than individual player. So East West time bank maybe running out and they've already been penalized.
Yep. Still, a bit of a costly decision.
Yeah.
Hey, Smart Mask. This is played on Lovebridge. So if you just search for Lovebridge Vugraph on Google, it'll be like the first hit that pops up. And this is, now that we're done with the set, there will be a 15-minute break. So this is kind of what the site looks like when you get there. Has a bunch of events going on concurrently. This is a bit of a competing VuGraph thing with BBO's coverage of VuGraph events. Well, let's see what's going on in the other match. So Wolfson, Goodman, 5 imps now separate the squads, and Goodman has taken the lead. That's incredible. We did have Wolfson playing in this segment. So, and Goodman was sitting out. That could have been a reason. Oh, the segment's not even over. Actually, let me pull that up. Just the blue room. All right, here we are. So this is hilarious to me. They have Pratap's name in a different font because his name is so long that it just doesn't fit in his little nameplate unless they squish it together. So board 14, I guess I'm gonna, this hand was not, this hand was very interesting, but in terms of the layout of the defensive cards, it's not. I did want to quickly look at where they got in the other room. Everyone's getting to 5 clubs. Maybe it's just too hard when North overcalls 3 diamonds. Wow, North didn't even overcall 3 diamonds at this table.
Sorry, which board are you looking at?
Well, 15.
I'm seeing 14 on your screen, or you just took a look. Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at the scorecard. So
Interesting. So they had a very different auction. The overcall was only one diamond, and they still
Right.
couldn't get there.
Yeah, which is a little wild to me. We're seeing the same defense of high club lead and East dumps the queen at every table.
Yeah, I
And
would actually like to, even though the other well, actually this is actually closer, but I would love to see Larry and David back in action after approximately a 15-year layoff.
well, we might. I mean, they're currently competing for USA1 and the seniors.
No, I meant for the next quarter.
Oh, yeah. Do we know if we're going to be joined by anyone?
I just sent an email around to the people I saw last night to tell them that we're going, and if anyone wants to join us, we'll send the link.
Yep. Cool. So similar defenses in four hearts in every room. We'll see if Declare takes a kind of the same line of play. At this table, so we've seen basically every Declare follow some plan of roughing two clubs in the dummy, either with high trumps or low trumps, using spades and or hearts to cross back to hand. And then the end position has diverged a little bit among most players, but it seems like all the declarers have elected to cash the ace king of hearts and just hope that something good happens in one of the two red suits. I would be curious if the East defender dumped the Jack of Clubs on the first round, would that affect Declarer's line of play? Or not the first round, but the second round, like after the rough happened in dummy. That would make it very scary from my perspective to continue trying to rough clubs in the dummy. We could easily be getting over roughed immediately.
Yeah, although it might not be safe to from his point of view, right? Because Declare then, if he has slightly better club spots, might just be able to force out a club.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I was just kind of thinking from a purely like theoretical perspective. Yeah, we're gonna give up some positions where Declare has a little bit better club spots, but we might make Declare's life a little more difficult in this position where it looks safe to just start roughing clubs, and I suspect that's what Declare is going to do here. Um, but they might be a little more afraid if we threatened an over rough. So heart to the ace, club rough. Now we'll see a spade over to the south hand, probably a spade to the queen, and another club rough.
Yeah, I think every declarer has played a spade to the queen because the ace is a more important entry to hand than the king is to dummy.
Yeah. So technically we've seen three different lines of play on this board so far. All of them resulting in a very similar position, but Adam Waldowski first used a spade entry to get to hand. Conaroo has used a heart entry first and then a spade entry to rough both of his clubs. And whoever it was, Neil Chambers, elected to use both spade entries to get to hand and then didn't even rough the fourth round of clubs high. So I think I like Conaroo's and Waldowski's plays a little bit better, although they have diverged slightly in the order in which they've done things. But everyone's gotten to mostly this end position, where cashing the king of hearts is going to make things very simple. The heart suit splits, but we can see Declare here pausing just to consider his options, because if the king of hearts fetches a spade from east, Declare is not going to be particularly happy.
And just a side note, South is universally known in the bridge world as Babu, and like with his own approval, like you'll see it at write-ups, like, oh, Babu played a spade.
Oh, okay.
So
All right.
I don't know if that's a normal diminutive for his first name or like just some, some other nickname, but yeah, yeah. Everyone calls him Babu, including.
Hmm. Okay, well, Babu here has found the Queen of Diamonds Doubleton onside. So, no swing, and we'll see if East West in this room can manage to do a little better than every other pair in these events. Finding, I mean, just a completely cold six club contract. One of the main reasons is that they have no jacks between them. I mean, the jack of clubs, but that card is also wasted. Oh, yeah, and they're playing precision. I forgot that
So did I.
Cohen and Berkowitz played precision, so we get a precision 2 diamond opener. North probably still
Let's
going to stick in a
see.
3 diamond bid, but this is going to make things very easy for East West, I think. Now that East is looking at the singleton diamond in his partner's hand, he'll be very happy to, probably even just bid key card and clubs if he has that available right now.
Yeah, and I suspect he doesn't because he hasn't had a chance to set trumps here.
Well, what is 4 diamonds?
And four diamonds might be pick a major. Is that kind of what it sounds like?
I
Or
guess.
West is like that has to be your top priority over this kind of two diamond bid.
So you think double is penalty, right?
Oh, probably.
Because if double is
Uh,
negative, then double is pick a
uh,
major.
so
I mean, we're about to see, right? Whatever 4 diamonds means,
yeah.
that's what David bid. I mean, that has to be David's bid, obviously.
Well, I
Um,
think he's planning to pull four diamonds to five clubs.
right? Yeah. No,
Pull four hearts to five clubs rather.
I think so too. So that's going to show slam try and clubs.
Mhm.
And is Larry going to accept? Like, he has all these controls, and I think that's something that a lot of these players have undervalued so far on the West
Mhm.
cards. Like,
Agree.
controls and source of tricks are the two things you need to make a slam. East has a source of tricks. He has this long club suit. West has controls. Um,
Yeah, and I think both Wests that we saw, so obviously one West was in a very different context. It was a one diamond overcall. But I think both Wests were when three diamonds didn't appreciate that partners four diamonds over that really shows a rock.
mhm. Yeah, that was my
You
thinking.
so of course David now has followed through with his plan of showing a good five club bid.
Right. Yeah, so if David had just jumped to 5 clubs over 3 diamonds, that would be like purely sign off, maybe even preemptive in a way. And so West would never have any reason to take another call. But here, going through 4 diamonds, he showed a strong hand. This is now a slam try. And
Yeah,
so,
I predict whatever West does, he'll do it in a very different tempo for Mitch Dunnets.
right, yeah, at least we can hope. He's thinking about it. I mean, I understand being concerned with West's hand. Like, for one thing, in this precision 2 diamond context, it's, maybe 11 to 15 or 10 to 15, depending on your opening style. I think for these guys, it's probably 10 to 15. So West is a little bit minimum. He does have nice controls, but he's looking at all of these, like, empty spaces in his hand,
And
like
once
ace empty
again,
fourth. Yeah, ace 10 9 fourth. I guess it's just way too difficult to reach the cold 6 club contract on these cards.
yeah, certainly we've seen a lot of strong, not just strong players, but almost everyone we've seen has been an established partnership of, in some cases, a very long duration, like these two are facing Krikorian.
Yeah. Okay. So 5 clubs pushed at every table in these events, and that is going to conclude segment 5. So we are going to be on a short break. Segment 6 will resume in probably about 15 minutes. Yeah, we might swap over to the Wolfson Goodman match.
Yeah,
We
certainly get me excited.
are. Oh my. Wasn't I just in this match? I think I was. And now we only have 6 minutes of break time left. They quickly
Yeah,
take the players out.
um, we also noticed that, I don't know if you caught this, but in the Hammond Lewis match, the clock was several minutes ahead of this match. So they obviously just didn't get started at the same time, possibly related to the time penalty from the previous segment.
Ah, okay.
I don't really know, but the clocks were not in sync. Um, no, I guess it would be the
Oh,
other way around.
you know what I just
Uh,
saw? I just saw some penalty imps being assessed. So this match has become very
wow.
close, Wolfson Goodman. We now have
Yeah, so in fact,
5.75.
that does explain Dunnett's um very quick decision over five clubs because he knew that his side was getting penalized and about to get penalized more.
Oh my. Yeah, so Hammond has now been assessed quite a large penalty in their match, which has made the match a little bit closer.
Yeah, 12 more imps. I also wonder if there's an exponential element to the penalties where um as you get more of them, they get higher for the same time infraction. Certainly how it should be. If
Yeah,
you're going 5 minutes over every segment, the eighth 5 minutes over should cost you more than the first 5 minutes over.
yeah, definitely. So that could be something that we would need to get some insight on. Maybe there's something on the USBF site about the penalties or conditions of contest. I mean, I would have to imagine there is.
Um, yeah, although from what I understand, they like I don't remember exactly the details, but when Chris was talking about this exact issue last night, it sounded like the conditions were um, somewhat vague. Like I think he thought that there was not as much precision to them as they've now realized that there should have been.
Mm-hmm. All right, I have a PDF that is 29 pages long. I'm going to look through it while we wait for the players to
Yeah, I just pulled it up.
filter in.
Here we go. So, time allotted and penalties begin on page 16 and 17. And I
Got it.
will paste this link into the chat if anyone is interested.
Penalized in accordance with section C.3. Schedule play based on 7.5 minutes per board.
I see. So, yes, it is on a match basis, as you see in section 2, not a quarter basis. So, every minute now that the Hammond team goes over is costing them 3 umps.
Uh huh. Okay. A team's excess time is the sum of the excess time taken by all pairs on the team during a match. Appendix A sets forth the general procedures for measuring time and informing players of the time they've used. Okay, let me look at Appendix A.
So, Appendix A is the very last page of the PDF document.
Yep. The clock will be shown to the pair at the start of each board, but not during the bidding and play of the board. So I don't know if that's changed, but that's what it says in the document. And
Yeah, that's not what Chris said, but possibly I misunderstood or possibly the final condition of contest were different in some way. Like it's also possible that this is the ideal and there was some technical implementation issue to doing it that way.
Mm, interesting. Uh,
Yeah, meanwhile, I would be surprised if I think if I don't know if Grable has played all of his boards, but I would guess that if he has, he will not be playing again this match, given that he's cost his side 15 imps now.
right. Yep. Ooh, note for 2023 only, that's this year. These penalties will be reduced by 50%.
Oh yeah, I did see that. I forgot about it. Wow. So they've really really just been glacial.
Yep.
Like under those conditions, it's pretty hard to cost your team 15 imps, but they managed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean it's I don't know. It's very unfair. Even if the other side gets infinite time, it's very unfair to play slowly. Like you just lose track of what's happening during the hand. You get annoyed. Um, so interesting. So I did tell the panel your story from that chess match where the guy went out to lunch, and the consensus was that the organizers should have some mechanism to take action against someone like behaving that way. Like even though the clock is technically his time, it's his time to play the game. It's not his time to be a child about it.
Yeah, well, make him buy lunch for the opponent. That seems like a fair way to do
Yeah,
it. Oh, I'm gonna need to
yeah,
move me, aren't I?
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's obviously like there has to be some flexibility to like decide about it. When it's just like egregious, assholery like that. The tournament directors should be. I mean, everyone agreed there should be social penalties, like the guy should just be ostracized. But then also that it would be grounds for some official sanction, even though technically his clock time is his to use.
Yeah. I don't actually remember what happened. I mean, maybe something happened afterwards. All I know is that, like, I was some, like, 13 or 14-year-old kid, and I was, like, super pissed.
Well, like he was mad at losing to someone at 13. You're a small adult. You probably were a fairly small 13-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, this guy now he's losing to what looks like a 10-year-old.
Yep. that's that's how everyone felt, I'm pretty sure. Alright.
Yeah, so I don't know, but like, so in the conditions of contest of those chess tournaments, is there like a blanket clause where the organizers can do anything they need in the best interest of the tournament?
Oh god, I don't think so. I don't think there is a conditions of contest. Like the entire chess tournament is filled out in like the fine print of like a piece of paper.
I
So
see.
I can't imagine that there's actually anything in there to protect any of the either the tournament staff or the players from anything bad happening.
I
Segment
would,
6 has started.
and there is no Burka win in this match, so that's a shame. All right, so let's pull up.
Yeah, so, oh, I should probably edit my title now that I am in the Wolfson Goodman. Wolfson versus Goodman.
Can
Done.
you paste can you paste the link to the current segment into the chat because somehow it's not coming up for me on the live bridge page?
I
Oh, here it is.
think that was it.
Yeah,
At least that's what's in my
I
browser
think
tab.
no, I think I just needed to refresh it. Uh, all right, so
All right.
Yeah, so this is obviously very costly for the Goodman team, who are ahead in the bridge, but behind when you include the time penalty.
Right. But with Wolfson sitting out now and Goodman sitting in, we'll see if this is going to change the tide of the match a little bit. I still expect Wolfson is substantially the stronger team, but Goodman has been holding their own at least up until now.
Yeah, and uh, I played with Goodman in the open trials last year, as I think I mentioned on the stream before, and he played extremely well. I mean, Andy Goodman is legitimately an expert bridge player, as is Wolfson, but, it's not like either of the sponsors are giving much up to the field in their play. They're both very, very good players.
Yeah, so we have a bit of a divergence already. 3 no trump at one table, 4 hearts at the other. In the blue room, Bobby Levin, generally a fairly fast player, hasn't even played to trick 1. Finally does. Whereas the 4 heart contract, I mean, Declare is just pulling trumps and looks to be probably roughing out the club suit. Gonna be a fairly quick 12 tricks, it looks like.
Yeah, so a little surprising in the I think the auctions in both rooms look surprising to me, where in the green room, West sort of started a sequence. It looked like he was going to be giving a choice of games and then didn't. Oh no, sorry, he checked back and he showed 3 hearts and he just but yeah, it looked like he was going to be giving a choice of games by, because 3 diamonds should guarantee a 5th heart. If he was 4-4, he could have been 3 spades. And then just decided to play the heart game on a flat hand. And in the other room, West just didn't even decide to check back.
Yeah, I mean, so West is sitting on a small doubleton partners club suit, maybe suspected that the hands would fit a little better in no trump, but he was incorrect. I don't recall West's high card count. Did he have a 10 count?
9.
9.
Ace queen of spades and the king of clubs.
It,
Ace queen of hearts and the king of spades.
yeah, I mean, it feels to me like looking for the heart fit makes sense because 9, I don't think is enough extra values that you expect to just make 3 no trump on power most of the time.
Right, and you have a 5th heart, you have enough to force the game, but not much beyond that. And you have a flat hand. Doesn't it seem like exactly the kind of hand where you want to say that you have a hand that's playable in either strain and partner look at your hand and you decide?
Yeah,
Like both Wests decided what strain to play in, and that seems odd to me.
yeah. Well, this might be a small pickup to Goodman, so we could have a new leader in the match. Uh, but I don't expect Bobby Levin to take the club finesse here. Even though South has been pitching clubs in the play, he just has 9 tricks. He's not going
Well,
to risk his contract.
no, he needs the club finesse for his ninth trick, doesn't he?
No, he
He's
has
got
a,
5 in ace king ace.
and the last heart.
Oh, sorry, I forgot that this trick wasn't banked yet. You're right.
Yeah. I mean, he might take the hook.
Well, I think now the
now it's
South pitch
safe.
diamond is safe too.
Right,
Yeah.
North pitched a diamond and South pitched a diamond, so I think that that's going to make
Right.
things pretty simple for Declare. Like at match points, I 100% would. I'm pretty sure South's club discard on the previous heart might have given the show away, but I just wouldn't risk it at teams unless it was guaranteed to make the contract. So I guess Bobby's going to think about it for a minute, but
Yeah,
maybe
I
he
think,
will.
but it's also possible, like, no, I think like maybe he would try to end play South, but I think that's probably not likely. I think he's just you know, he's gonna take club finesse and figure out 9 tricks at worst.
Yep. All right. So small number of amps could be swung in the blue room, but let's head over to the green room, see what's going on in the auction. North has a very suitable hand. I see what I did there.
Uh,
Yeah, it was clever. So he's 6'5" in the round suits. He opens a club. I mean, I like the one club opener, but I think a lot of people would prefer to open this a heart and just rebid clubs at every
yeah.
opportunity. So,
Yeah, and I would really not want to do that because this is a hand where it's very dangerous to show that you're 6'5" the wrong way.
yeah. So, club, a spade by South. East didn't bid over a club. That's a little surprising to me. I think a lot of players would preempt two diamonds or just overcall one diamond.
Hmm.
But okay, so East passes, South electing to bet a spade. Looks pretty natural. West comes in with a no trump strong hand. Two hearts by North now. He's happy to treat his hand as a reverse with a good 6-5. 2-0 by East. Lebensal looks like he's trying to get out in three diamonds. If only North-South knew that East was trying to play in three diamonds, then they would have done something a little different. But,
Well, although to be fair, where else would he be playing it after North South had been clubs, hearts, and spades?
right. Yeah. But I guess Steve Garner, with the Diamond Void, not really having any of it, just bids three hearts directly.
Right. Well, he has no reason to believe that his partner's diamonds include four trump tricks.
Right.
Yeah, so when they've gotten to three hearts and four hearts. Maybe on double dummy play you can make it, but it's not a great contract with all these clubs to deal with.
Yeah.
Two spade losers off the top, and clubs not dividing, missing the queen of hearts, no entries to dummy to take heart finesses after your rough clubs.
Yep. So Steve Garner, I mean, doing a fairly intelligent thing here. He's just electing to pull trumps. If he had crossed back to his hand by roughing a diamond to rough another club, even if that worked, I mean, it looks like East might have been able to overruff the dummy. But even if the club hook worked, he would then have to use another trump in his hand to cross back, then pull trumps, and if the clubs were not set up by that point, he would just go down. So he can now safely give up two clubs. He's going to lose two spades, but he is protected against getting tapped out. So plus 140.
And in the other room, Levin, after long thought, led the 10 of clubs, and North covered with the king. So he never had this. I think he was planning to take that finesse, but um, they just forced him to take 12 tricks.
Right. Yep, so no swing on the first board. And
So
let's.
what happened?
Hmm?
What happened here? Because it looked like Declare was going down at that point, right? Unless I
In
missed something.
in what? In three
In
hearts?
three hearts.
No, he roughed a club and then he just lost two clubs and two spades.
Oh, I see.
We get the same one club opener in the north in both rooms. I approve. Wow. And once again, East doesn't take a call with a six-card diamond suit. It feels
Yeah,
weird to
and
me
I'm
to
gonna.
not bid.
Yeah, I don't think your hand is not great for two diamonds. Like
Yeah,
I would
but
be pretty tempted anyway, but it's not like you're thrilled to make that call.
right, but I mean, just one diamond is probably fine. I don't know.
I don't like one diamond seems pointless and worse.
Okay. Similar start to the
So
auction. Two hearts by North. I'm keeping an eye on the
like
green room. I mean, it looks like they're just on their way to four hearts. And that contract is going to have 11 tricks after Declare pitches a diamond loser on the ace of clubs. So we'll stay focused on the blue room for now. Ooh. Okay, a little bit of divergence in the bidding. So Bobby Levin elects to bid three diamonds now. This is very reasonable. So in the green room, they had this Lebensal bid by East. But the fact that East didn't act on the first round over a club and has now showed a long diamond suit, three diamonds can't be forcing. This can't just be a strong hand, normal Lebensal type. So
right.
I think I like this decision. Wow. South doubles, obviously penalty. And what do we do as North? I mean, I'd be tempted to sit. We have Ace King Ace.
You have ace king ace and a void. I mean, you have to figure the partner really does have the diamonds absolutely locked up here.
Right.
And I think they're going to get at least two, right? Three diamonds and all three of the ace king ace cash.
Yeah,
I
it looks
mean,
that
I
way.
might declare can take four spade tricks, so that's going to hold the damage down if he ends up declaring it here.
I guess there's no way to get an extra trick somehow. Alright, Drew Kaysen does elect to pass the double of three diamonds, so this could be
Yeah, I
a
was
swing.
trying to figure out if they could get it three. I don't think they can get it three.
So I expected to go Ace of Clubs Club Rough. I mean, unless the opponents are playing like coded tens and nines on opening lead. Well, not after the 10 of clubs falls from East.
Yeah, I think ace of clubs, club rough, and then a couple of hearts, and then yeah, so leading the king of hearts just to make sure his partner knows what's going on after this club rough.
Sure. But the 2 of clubs probably would have worked out just fine. So 2 of clubs, roughed, another heart back through. And, oh, you know what it is? I bet the king of hearts was to get count from partner, because Drew Kaysen doesn't know if he's cashing 1 or 2 hearts
The
here.
third heart or not, that's right.
Yeah.
Good point.
So he does win the 9 of hearts, which is going to let South know exactly what's going on in the heart suit, and now we will get another round of clubs. And yeah, I guess it just doesn't matter what Declare does from here. Like, even if Declare pitches on the club, South was getting that natural trump trick anyway. I mean, I guess things are a little complicated.
And meanwhile, I think we're starting to see why the Goodman team is in time trouble.
Oh, because North is thinking at this point. Yeah,
Well, this table is three boards behind, and they've only played two boards.
yeah, yeah. That's also true. Okay, well,
And I suspect it's not Becker and Levin's fault.
right, right. So Drew Kaysen does eventually find a club through, which I think, like we said, isn't really going to cause Declare all that much grief, but he will end up going down 2 from here. South going to get 2
Yeah,
natural
Levin
diamonds.
also. Levin knows he doesn't need to worry about a spade being roughed away because South responded one spade,
Yep.
although he does choose to pitch.
Okay. Well, that's going to be down to small swing to the Wolfson, no, to the Goodman squad. But let's see what's going on in 3-0 in the green room. They had an inverted minor auction, and looks like Declare makes this because the diamonds come home, but it's very scary.
Yeah, with the defense having a claim if they can ever get the lead.
Right.
Yeah, just catch ace of spades here, lead a diamond, and find out if he's making or going down five.
Right.
Four.
Yeah, basically. I think there probably might have been some sort of technical
Three.
advantage to cashing the king of diamonds before going to the ace. That way you know if the diamonds are splitting, and you can know to like preserve the ace of spades to, maybe go down one less. But here we are. Declare is going to make his contract in 3-0. Bobby Levin does go down 2 tricks and 3 diamonds doubled in his room. And I think I really like Bobby's decision in the auction. You know, he probably worked out that that's what 3 diamonds should mean. Or maybe they just have an agreement about that scenario. But unfortunately for
Yeah,
him, you know, he ran into this terrible Trump split.
I suspect the former. I think this is basically a new partnership, Becker Levin.
Mm.
Like, I'm not exactly sure um, whether this was always planned or if they were waiting to see if someone else was available for, after the open end. And of course, Bobby's regular partner, Steve Weinstein, is unavailable for reasons of age. He is not yet eligible to play the seniors.
Right. Yeah, so Blue Room, we have a fairly similar auction to what looks like the normal 4 heart contract. And let's check out what's going on in the Green Room, who is zooming along. Heart by west, no trump by east. I guess we bid 2 hearts.
Yeah, something has to be a maximum.
Right.
So East will probably try 2 no trump here, but he might raise. Not after the 2 spade bid. I think he'll bid 2 no trump.
You mean he'll double 2 spades? I mean,
I don't think he's going to double 2 spades.
Really? He denied 4 spades.
Yeah, but your partner's shown a minimum opening, and you're going to need them to have approximately 4 tricks, right? You can only really, like, it turns out we take 2 hard tricks, we can only count on 1. So.
Don't we take 3 heart tricks?
I mean, on this actual layout, sure. But,
like, I'm doubling 2 spades because the opponents have created a stupid auction again. Like, North didn't overcall 1 spade over a heart.
Right, obviously that's, that's very odd of North to take the sequence, but when you're playing against a world-class player like this North, Steve Garner, I think you can't just decide that he's, done something bizarre to try to go for 5 or 800. I think you have to assume that whatever he's doing, he had some reason for it. And we can see that he didn't, but
well, okay, but
I would never double his East. I think it's crazy.
Really?
Maybe at match points, sure. And at match points against a weak opponent, absolutely. At imps against a world-class opponent, I think, I think it's asking for trouble.
Why do we think that we're necessarily making game? I mean, partner has a maximum with a bunch of aces and kings, right? But isn't that good on defense as well?
I would just invite his. Yeah, I would think I would just bid 2 no trump invitational if I could do that.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what if we're just getting 500 against 2 spades?
Right, but the question is, how often are we doing that? And I think against an expert North who presumably is not showing up at the tournament trying to go for 500 on every board, it's not that likely.
Yeah. Like, partner can always pull, right? I mean, we double 2 spades, it's not necessarily penalty.
Yeah, I know.
We just have, like, this good 3-card spade holding and extra values.
Right, obviously, yes, that's true, since we're known to have at most 3 spades. Ace King third can't be much better. That's certainly true. Like, I feel like, though, I really wish the King of Hearts were the king of anything else.
Yeah, like, that's totally fine. I'm all for it, but I feel like doubling 2 spades our hand can't be much different than what we have. Partner will know what to do, hopefully. Oh well. It looks like maybe a missed opportunity. We could have held Declare to 5 tricks and spades, but we do take 11 tricks and hearts.
So, meanwhile, the Blue Room has caught up a bit. They're now a mere 1 and change boards behind.
Yeah, and we see a similar auction getting to the same 3 no trump contract. Looks like West is on lead and gonna pick their 6-card major, not their 4-card major. So Declare is gonna be in the same position. Just needs to find the diamond suit coming home.
Yeah, so notice both Souths won the ace at trick one, which is a play that I like.
Hmm.
Like holding up is pointless, but here, maybe you make it a little harder for the defense to figure out what's going on in the hard suit.
Right. Yeah, so if you hold up, I mean, East is obviously going to be pretty happy to continue playing hearts, and that's going to work out well for the defense. Um, but winning the ace, I mean, hearts can't be 7-2, right? Like, that's kind of the reason why holding up would be beneficial for Declare. But hearts can't be 7-2. West didn't act over a diamond, so.
Right. I think the layout you're hoping for is once in a while, if you end up losing the lead and it's to West, it might be hard for him to bang down the high card because you could have started with ace 10 third or something. Well, then you wouldn't have played the jacket trick one.
Yeah,
But yeah, it makes it a little harder for the defense
right.
when there's no real technical reason to hold up here.
Sure.
Meanwhile, it's just gotta be in the same position where I'll lead a diamond and hit the claim button.
Yeah. So 4 more diamond tricks. Push forward at 3-0, making 9 tricks. And let's see what's going on in the green room. I noticed that Steve Garner, with, a 7 card diamond suit, elected to open 2 diamonds in first seat. He is unfavorable, and it's a pretty bad 7 card diamond suit at that. East made a takeout double, found a heart fit, a heart fit of some kind, and then got to 4 hearts. I mean, I don't think I would raise 2 hearts to 3 as East. I might do something like bid 3 diamonds. Because you'll notice that they have found a 4-3 heart fit at the 4 level.
Yeah, and I was just thinking, just sort of trying to figure out. I mean, maybe just bid three. Well, yeah, your hand is such an awkward range, like 15 with a singleton, but all aces and kings.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't like 3 diamonds because I think you kind of owe partner another bid, and when he bids 3 hearts, you don't know anything more than in the previous round. 3 clubs, I think, is somewhat attractive.
Really? Doesn't that show a hand
I
that
mean,
was like too good to overcall 3 clubs?
yeah, but what does 3 diamonds show, right?
I mean, at least it's not single seated clubs. I don't know. Maybe you should just pass 2 hearts. Maybe it's not that crazy to just
No.
pass 2 hearts.
Oh, I think that's true. I think the reason that I would bid 3 clubs rather than 3 diamonds is if you bid 3 diamonds and partner rebids hearts, you really don't know anything more. If you bid 3 clubs and partner rebids hearts, at least now you know that you found an 8 card fit.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, and look, yeah, maybe that's, you know, maybe as heavy as it is, you're not vulnerable. You lose 6 imps because you could have gotten to a game, you lose 6 imps.
Right.
I'm going to step away for just one moment here.
Okay. Well, in this case, it looks like passing 2 hearts would have been the big winner. I mean, I don't know if 2 hearts was even making. I have the suspicion that the opponents are going to collect a lot of tricks defensively no matter what contract we ended up in, East West. Yeah, I was going to say it's funny that Steve Garner maybe shouldn't be roughing this trick, but he does kind of correctly work out not to rough it. Sometimes it's right to just not rough with your natural trump tricks, and he elected to do that here. Well, Declare has managed to collect a 6th trick. That ace of spades is going to be a 7th. It'll be very funny if a club gets roughed and North discards once again. I, I would find that actually hilarious. Which we might even see. You know, the way that the play has gone, Mike Pessell over here might believe that South is the one sitting on the heart queen. I'm just not sure what other alternative he has to roughing a club right now. South giving it some thought. I mean, it's obviously South can't discard a trump. I mean, he could, probably wouldn't be particularly useful. South, of course, doesn't want to pitch a club, although for whatever reason he's still spending some time thinking. Because if he pitches a club and West happens to have both the remaining hearts, Declare can rough the clubs good in dummy. So there's only one real discard that makes any sense to me, and that's a spade. I just have no idea why South is spending time thinking about this play.
So what's happening here in the green room?
Well, I think Declare has some potential to make two hearts if he roughs a club and Steve Garner once again discards. But
I see he's really not in great shape here, is he?
no, no. A bit of excitement in the blue room. We're playing in 3 no trump rather than 4 hearts. North, not being the crazy wild animal that Steve Garner is, did not take a call at all during this auction.
Yeah, so I guess this is just an easy make 4 probably, right? Like you can well actually you'll make 5 they lead a spade.
Oh, South just discarded a trump. In the green room. I don't know what to say. Oh,
I mean
boy.
that's still okay, right? There's still you know
Yeah, no, I mean this is great for North South, but I think I I just have the feeling that discarding a trump is not the right play in general. I mean, a spade was 100% safe.
yeah, obviously he wanted to keep parity with dummy, but I think he wasn't thinking about the whole hand.
Yeah. All right. Well, this should make Steve Garner's position a little simpler. Although Steve obviously taking some time now because he probably thought Mike Purcell, the declarer, was the one who had that last trump.
Right.
And now that he's seen his partner show up with it, he needs to pause and take some time and think about what's going on. I believe he'll be able to work out to over rough this and switch to the spade queen. It looks like South's decision to not pitch a spade and instead to discard a trump is probably based on a strong spade suit. So
Yeah, I think that's extremely likely.
yeah. All right. So Declare is going to end up down some number of tricks in the green room. Whether it's 2 or 3, we will find out shortly. And in the blue room, Declare is kind of, funnily enough, squeezing South in 3 suits. I don't understand pitching the jack of clubs from dummy. That was, oh, it's Bobby Levin. Okay, he pitched the jack of clubs from hand. All right, he's doing a Bobby Levin thing. But yeah, South is getting squeezed, oddly enough, in 3 suits. That 10-9 of spades is kind of a useful value, but regardless, after this last heart cashes with Bobby pitching a diamond, he'll play spade to the king, and South is squeezed in clubs and diamonds. I mean, in effect, it's a double squeeze because North is squeezed in spades and diamonds on this trick. So now if Bobby's counting, he knows the 2 of clubs is good. And he, of course, is. So that's 11 tricks. Similar to what happened in 4 hearts in the other table. Oh, I didn't see the end of the play, but 4 hearts did go down 2. I wonder if that means Steve Garner ended up discarding on that club rough.
The last couple of tricks also. Let's see here.
It's not that crazy in a non-vulnerable, not doubled game contract to just try and like defend safely. Like the difference between going plus 150 and plus 50 is not that much in terms of imps.
Yeah, he did pitch a diamond, and then he's claimed,
Yeah,
with just the ace of spades to come his way.
right. Yeah, so Steve was, of course, very afraid that if he had won this trick and he switched to spades, it might blow up the spade suit. Declare could take the rest. Or if he then cashed the king of diamonds, it would set up Declare's jack. So he just avoided getting end played. And okay, we'll see how Bobby treats the east hand. Wow, no thought whatsoever. He just makes
Yeah,
the
no
takeout double,
surprise.
passes two hearts. I think I like the decision in retrospect. I hadn't really given a lot of consideration to what East should do because I think by the time I was in the green room, three hearts was on the table. But yeah, once you've already made the takeout double, you've kind of showed your values and partner bid your worst suit.
So this certainly will be at least a few imps to the Wolfson team. It'll be a sizable swing if they can manage to go plus your two hearts.
I have the feeling that, I mean, this could be a push. This would be a really funny push, but I could easily see this being a push. Like, Declare might play a diamond to the ace and rough a diamond with the three of hearts and get over-ruffed.
Mm.
And
I think when he plays a diamond to the ace and the queen pops up, he'll, figure out the north is opened week two with the seven card suit.
yeah, it's possible. I mean, but it's also possible that South is just like hopping up with the queen from Queen Doubleton, either to unblock or potentially to
Possibly.
like try and hold the lead for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's possible. So meanwhile, if he's played a low spade off the board, I'm not exactly sure what his long-term plan is by doing that.
Yeah, I'm not convinced there is a long-term plan. I think Declare is in a lot of trouble. Okay, we do get the Queen of Diamonds switch, and this isn't really going to give the show away about the diamond suit either. So
Not
Queen
at
of
all.
Diamonds
Yeah,
to the ace,
this could just be from anything.
right?
Declare will probably play a club up. Just,
I'm all for the diamond ruff with the three of hearts. I mean, like if I was playing the hand, that's probably what I would do. It feels to me like the safest plan. I mean, maybe you can make an argument that like King 10 9 6 is just not a very good diamond holding. So it looks like Declara does go for the club towards the king.
yeah, I think, he's probably just wants to protect against North. Like, obviously, if he had a club void, he's leading through right now, but also he really doesn't want North to be able to pitch a club
Yep.
on a spade if that's, his next thing. So making sure to catch the king of clubs before it goes away seems as good as anything.
Right. In that case, it kind of feels a little weird to duck a spade first.
I don't understand what that was all about.
Okay, yeah, that's totally fair.
I think like maybe again just hoping like spades are 3-3 so we can take a rough in hand and then hope to end play south and trumps if south started with king queen fourth something like that.
Yep. Well, Drew Casey
Yeah, it's also
thinking.
entirely possible. It's also very possible, by the way, that West's strategy here was just to never be on lead and hope something good happened.
Yeah. Okay, I was gonna say Drew Casey thinking hard about what to discard here. Does pitch the spade queen, which is a fairly revealing card. So now I think Declara will be pretty happy to rough a club, presumably with one of the high heart spots, either the jack or 10.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, so I think he'll try that. Now obviously he's gonna feel like that low spade off the board was not in his best interest.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he's got to know that cashing the spade ace is not going to work out right now.
Right. And he's also learning a lot about the distribution because if North started with one club and as it appears here, two spades,
Mm-hmm.
um, it's possible that North was 2-4-6-1, but I think he's gonna, start to at least strongly suspect that diamonds were 7-1 the whole time.
Yeah, that's a good point. Would be very unusual for North to preempt with a side four card major.
Right. Right. Like he knows one way or another that North has an abnormal hand, but I think the actual hand he holds is the more likely abnormal one.
Right.
Especially with North South being red white, opening with a weak 7 card suit is very much in his range, and that's yeah. I think he's gonna know that's one of the possibilities because he's seen the ace queen jack of diamonds already.
Sure. Yeah. Hmm. I'm still not convinced this won't just be a push. Two hearts down two. Um,
Yeah, so does Leclerc have any path to making now? So he's certainly going to, so he's lost one trick only. He's going to lose at least two more trumps. And he doesn't have a ton of winners, but how many? Yeah, I think that are there any 7 tricks that he could possibly take? I think the answer to that question.
well, I think 7 tricks is possible.
Oh,
Like,
sorry. No, he only needs 5 more tricks. Are there any 5 tricks that he can possibly take?
that
So
feels very
can he take
impossible.
a spade and 4 of his 7 remaining hearts? That does seem challenging with North overruffing and clubs and South overruffing and diamonds.
Yeah, if we could just decide what hand to lead from at every opportunity, like roughing a diamond with the 6 of hearts right now would work out really well, double dummy.
Right.
And then once that holds, if we could then lead a spade towards the ace, that would be great. we're just kind of lacking entries to the west hand.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you have a 2 count.
Right. We did have the diamond ace, but yeah, okay. So Declare is going to rough a club. We'll see if he roughs with a high honor or a low spot card. He does
Yeah,
rough with a 10.
certainly feels like his most natural continuation at that point.
Yeah, so North
So North
overruffs.
will.
I mean, my suspicion is North is going to play trumps through now.
I think so too. But I figure he doesn't need to play diamonds. Declare is going to have to rough them anyway, so he can, either score them later or score them as partners overruffs.
Oh, okay. North does switch to diamonds, which I think is going to make Declare pretty happy. Because now he's fairly confident he can just pitch, yeah, one of these club losers and force South to shorten himself in trumps. Looks to me like
Yeah,
Declare
so
might get out for down one from this point.
right, and Declare now I think is playing double dummy.
Yeah, now that he knows about the 7-1 diamond split.
See North show up with the Queen of Hearts, and North definitely, not definitely, but North probably didn't start with King Queen third of Hearts.
Right.
So what happens? So if he roughs high and plays ace in another heart, how many tricks is he going to take? He'll take 1, 2, 3, 4 for down one. That's probably the best that he can do.
Yeah, because while it might seem like South is
Uh,
potentially getting end played in spades, South is going to have a good club to exit with.
right, but then can And he's then just lead a low spade off the board toward the eight.
Uh,
Or sorry, just sorry, no, it's not a club to exit.
oh
So
yeah,
no, because
you're absolutely right. So if
rough high,
declare
ace, another
roughs,
trump. But that club, by the way, is not that club isn't an exit card.
the club isn't an exit card. No, I think
Because
you're
West will be
absolutely
out of
right.
trumps, it needs to be West will be out of trumps, it needs to be following.
So what
So I
happens
think
if
if he plays
South
ace,
unblocks the King of Hearts under the ace?
oh, I think he needs to for sure. But but then I don't even know if that matters, right? Because it's
It doesn't
I mean if he
because North goes King
South
of
is actually
Diamonds,
going to
we
get
pitch. Yeah.
and South is actually squeezed on the King of Diamonds, I think, in a weird way.
Well, I mean, the simplest line is on the King of Diamonds, we just pitch a spade. North has to continue a diamond to the stranded jack.
Right.
So,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
yeah, if we were to rough the King of Diamonds, then South could just pitch a spade and then have a spade and a club
Right.
to finish with. Well,
Let's see if Declare can work this out.
yeah, so just 2 rounds of hearts does kind of pseudo end play someone because, yeah, South winning the King of Hearts will exit the 9 of clubs, right? He knows that a spade exit is no good for his side, but then the 9 of clubs will get roughed, and Declare can then lead a low spade towards the 8. So heart to the ace, heart. Looks like 2 hearts is going to make. It's, I think, guaranteed now. We've already seen North follow to 1 club, 3 hearts, and 2 spades. And we know that North started with 7 diamonds. So Declare is now officially double dummy if he wasn't before. There was still some possibility that the spades were
I
not
think,
splitting the way that we expect.
yeah, I think he was double dummy by inference before, and now he's double dummy for real.
Yeah. So well done. That will be 5 imps to who? Wolfson for staying a bit, a couple levels lower and then actually making the contract after a bit of a defensive slip up.
Yeah, so they'll reclaim the lead here.
Yeah. In the green room, I was kind of keeping an eye on the board. I mean, North had a very exciting hand, 6-5 in the majors with 2 singletons and minor suits. And with the King of Hearts on side, he's going to be quite happy that 5 spades is making his direction. Looks like the opponents were going down 2 maybe in 5 clubs. If the defense got all of their tricks.
Yeah, so meanwhile, in the blue room, there is a little bit of a time issue once again, where they're going to have 9 boards to play in 72 minutes, which is still sort of on track with 8 minutes a board, but not super comfortable.
Right.
So it looks like Declare has gotten this wrong.
Whoa. What?
Bobby is not going to be happy about that one.
No, I'm also not happy about that one. I mean,
Yeah,
if you take time, you can't get the position wrong. I'm
right.
perfectly okay with my partner playing like a brain dead idiot if they just do it quickly. But spending a while thinking and then getting the position wrong is just not something that's okay.
Well, no, he did it instantly though. He roughed the thing and then just played Ace of Spades like a shot.
Oh, but I thought he spent a while thinking about what to do on the club. No? It was he just instantly did the
Oh,
wrong
maybe.
thing. Okay. Well, then
Yeah,
no
I think it was
fault.
pretty good.
No blame whatsoever. Well played, Mike Becker.
So
Try better next time.
unlucky.
Yeah. Okay, board 22, we didn't get to see it all. I'm actually way more interested about what's happening in the green room, so I'm going to head over there. So 3 clubs by West, 7-4 in the minors, pass, pass. South reopens with double on just a 9 count, 5-4 in the majors. North, despite 2 natural club tricks, elects to try 3 no trump, and that has ended the auction. Wow. A lot of things just happened. And we get a spade lead, which, I mean, I can't say I'm that surprised by. East does have a 5-card suit. It is not going to
Yeah,
be
by
the
the way, you'll
defense's
notice
best lead.
3 clubs is going to make. So, so North certainly beat that result.
1, 2, 3, 4 losers. Yeah. Yeah, 3 clubs was going to make.
And it was going to make with a double beer, by the way.
Got it, got it.
Yeah, so we've got some fireworks in the other room too, by the way. Check out what's happening in the blue room now.
Oh my god. There's a blue card on the table. I mean, not currently, not in the current contract, but
Well, yeah, but West has shown interest in going after a penalty. So and they stumbled into his King Jack 10 fourth suit. So let's see.
yeah.
Yeah, East unfortunately has the wrong offense defense ratio to try to defend.
Right, yeah. So Bobby was sitting on this extra heart length, and I mean, he has Queen Doubleton of Spades, though. If partner's really trying to penalize 2 spades, I would be pretty happy.
I mean, as it turns out, it looks to me at a quick glance like it was going to be a fairly close call to get a 1.
Hmm.
Like you only get a 1 because you take a heart trick.
Sure. Yeah, Declare can play the clubs for 1 loser, it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, Diamond Ace is on side, so there's no real tap danger.
Hmm. Okay. Well, Bobby Bobby hops up with the Spade King and then dumps the Queen underneath it. I mean, it's not that crazy to do what he did, and it was kind of a clever play. He was mostly just trying to ensure his diamond discard, and if the opponents had ducked to the first round of spades, he wouldn't really have an entry to get over there to take his pitch. So it looks like he's earned himself a over trick in this contract. The opponents are going to get a club and a heart from here.
So win 1.
Yeah, win 1 after he roughs the club and dummy.
So rough a club with the Jack or 9, and that'll be that.
Yep. Well, 3 no trump in the other room looks like it's going awfully well for Declare. Declare at trick 2 elects to cash the ace of hearts and finds. Wait. He won in dummy and
Well, he
led
has
the
no
queen of
dummy
hearts.
entries.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
He won in dummy and led the queen of hearts to the king ace, and now he has to decide if he's taking the heart finesse on the way back. I think you probably should.
So what was trick 1? He had King 10 fourth in dummy and played the 10.
Yeah.
Nice play.
I didn't really count Declare's tricks. Does he have enough tricks if he just gets 5 hearts? Like, maybe we actually just wanted to set up spades.
Well, let's see. So he's got 4 more hearts and 2 clubs if he can take them, and a diamond and a spade, and the defense can take. I think it's still. Let's see. I mean, he obviously has, 9 tricks in some sense, but he also doesn't necessarily have the ability to get to and take them all.
Right, yeah, I was wondering if we should have won the spade in hand and then led a spade to the 10. Because that would not only give us the entry we need to take the heart hook, but it would also preserve our three spade stoppers. Like now we only have two spade stoppers in the suit. I mean, sure, the opponents can't lead the suit themselves, but if we were to now lead a spade to the king, it would set up East's entire spade suit.
Yeah, if we're just like run into a singleton, jack in the West cards, that 10 of spades play would have worked out horribly.
Right, yeah, that's also very true.
So,
I mean, it's understandable Declare's thinking at this point, right? He might have expected the heart finesse to lose a
yeah,
good portion of the time, given the three club
I
opener.
was actually I was actually about to speculate that he might play a club now.
Yep. Yeah, so he's now probably expecting, since West has turned up with the club ace, presumably, and the heart king, that East has all of the missing honors, which he's correct about.
Yeah, so he is still gonna have to guess this heart to go plus,
Yep.
which is I think if they play a third round diamonds or catches it from his hand, then he'll probably get it right. Because I think then he'll know if he says the ace king of diamonds, ace king fifth, he might have led one in preference to a spade. So I think he'll have a count on West's hand at that point.
Yeah, I agree with that last inference that East with oh, East has cashed the spade ace. Well, that can't be the right play. So is it possible? No, it's not. It's due to this inference
He
that
still
East
needs.
with Ace Jack fifth and Ace King fifth would have led a diamond.
I think that inference is pretty reliable.
Right.
Not a guarantee, but it's got, it has to be an overwhelming favorite that with that hand he would have led his better suit.
Yep. All right. So we get the king of clubs. We'll see if Andy Goodman pitches a diamond here, which might give the show away a little bit, but he does pitch the diamond. Normally on defense, it's good to discard cards you're known to hold. So in this instance, a spade discard. East is known to have both of those remaining spades. Would have been preferable. And Steve Garner does take the heart finesse. So 9
And a
tricks.
safety play, preserving the 10 of clubs in case that finesse lost.
Yeah, yeah. Then he would only go down 1 instead of going down like 3. Okay, blue room on 23, we do have the exact same auction to 5 spades, and declares once again going to be fairly happy that the king of hearts is on side. So let's stay with the green room. We're seeing some new boards in here anyway. So north passes in first seed, east is going to open, I have to imagine, although some players in this event might not.
Yeah, I think here, if you switch the minors, maybe some players would be inclined to pass. Here, you've got the easy rebid, so that would certainly sway me. I mean, I would have opened it, obviously, even though minors were switched, but if I were playing in a conservative style, I might open this shape, but not 3-1-4-5 with the same high cards.
Yeah. Uh, and I was going to ask, I mean, so I actually kind of like the one no trump overcall south, but I could see one heart being a popular choice as well.
I kind of like one heart, partly because this hand is minimum for one no trump.
Mm,
Like, your hearts are in a trick source, but you do have 5 of them. The hand probably won't play that well if it goes one no all pass.
mm. Okay.
And here,
Partners
it's
transferring
working out much
spades.
worse. Yeah. And obviously West has this heart stack, but one no commits you to a 7 card spade fit instead of an 8 card heart fit.
Hmm. Well, I'm curious if North is done. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if North invited in no trump.
I think, yeah, I think non-vulnerable. He's probably done, but we'll see. You were right.
There's two now. I mean, he has a couple of tens. Like, those can help out a lot. The 5 card spade suit could be a trick source. It's
Yeah, and
gonna
then
be.
again, that kind of gets back to my point about one no being a super minimum. Like now you've had this awkward invite from North.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. 1 heart, we would end up playing in a quiet 2 heart contract, I suspect. Although, I mean, maybe we wouldn't. Maybe the opponents would end up in 3 clubs. We overcall heart, West bids a no trump. Our partner raises to 2 hearts, and East makes like a takeout double.
I think
Whoa!
he, I think he's just a little light for the double. Yeah, so I was actually given a couple of hands from an earlier segment. Wolfson in general, like I don't know how aggressive he is all the time. In this match, he's been hyper aggressive.
Okay. I mean, 3 now on just a bare 15, no fit for partner spades. Like, ace jack 10 of diamonds is good, but. Well, let's see how this does. I mean, we get a productive opening lead for our side at the very least. Still, with the jack of spades in East's hand, I think we're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, even if you guess it right, your entry position is probably probably not up to setting up and cashing the suit. I
Yeah,
think you're probably gonna have to leave the
so
king of spades now and try to cast the jack in west.
I wonder if setting up hearts has any merit. There is a possibility that hearts are 3 2. I mean, I don't think it's too likely, but West definitely could be leading from king queen third against this kind of auction.
Yeah, although you have to be worried about either opponent switching to a club at some point.
All right, he likes to go after spades, which,
I think this is, the simplest route.
yep,
So probably a nice play by East to duck that.
yeah, it's going to
Make it a
force
little harder
Declare
to
to
set up the
use
suit.
extra entries to the dummy if he wants to set up the spade suit.
Yeah, so I think he'll win this and probably put a club on the table. He doesn't. Yeah, he might play diamond, but
Yeah, what happens if he does switch to a low diamond here? I think that's the only
I think if you
concerning
play it,
plan.
I think if you play a diamond, a low one is pretty attractive. Let's see.
I mean, it looks like on a low diamond switch, Declare can make it, right? Just crosses
So
to the heart. Well, it plays a heart. And,
no,
oh,
no, I don't
no,
think that's good enough
maybe not. Never mind.
because now West can hop up and play his second diamond.
Yeah, right. So we need to cross in clubs, and then the opponents can set up clubs when they get in with the spade ace.
Before the heart is
Hmm.
dislodged. Because if the heart is your entry, you'll have your club set up. Or, by the way, well, I guess you can't play the king of diamonds now because his hand is actually cut off.
Yeah.
So it's a little tricky. If he plays a club to the ace and a spade, East has to play another club and not a diamond.
Right. Yep. Shouldn't be that difficult. I mean, especially when Declare puts in the 10 of diamonds. Now you know Declare has the ace and jack remaining. This is something that I talk about all the time, and I hate it when this happens. I've just gotten tired of yelling at people,
Yeah,
but South just absolutely needed to put in the jack of diamonds there. Uh,
right. Right. This does not conceal the position from either East or West, especially East.
yeah. All right, so club to the
Alright, so
ace. I mean, kind of forced from Declare's perspective, but maybe a better try would have been to lead a heart. I mean, especially once you've won the 10 of diamonds, now it might actually look to West like diamonds are never coming home, and West might win the Queen of Hearts and switch to clubs, which would let Declare make it.
Maybe. Although this was the play that, yeah, like this was the play that made it much more likely that East would have a hard time doing the right thing. So, now he is going to make it, where if he'd let a heart, I don't think he would have. I think West would have hopped up and played a diamond.
What is East doing, though? Like, how could it ever be right to play the King of Diamonds here?
Yeah, and that's certainly true, knowing what Declare's holding is. And also, he did it quickly. He didn't even really stop to think about what Declare's hand might look like.
Yikes. Okay. Well, we got him good this time. Oh, you know what? I
Yeah,
mean,
so
you said that Goodman and Wolfson are fairly strong sponsors, but my thinking is that it's probably a good idea to put East to the guess as opposed to West. Yep.
yes. I mean, obviously, the fact that Goodman is a good player doesn't mean that he's the bridge equivalent of Mike Vassell.
Yep. All right, so Declare did make 3 no trump, well justified in the auction, and he will continue bidding this way in the future, I'm sure.
Yeah, what an amazing result.
Yeah. So on board 24, something I guess exciting happened. I mean, so West didn't open or didn't preempt, which kind of worked out well for their side, given that North South in the other room got a little aggressive and reached 3 no trump. So North South stopped in a part score. It looks like they went down in the part score, and which is a little sad. Did they really go
Yeah,
down in 2 hearts?
they really did. So they must have lost what?
Wow.
Oh, it's actually not. Yeah, I mean, look, they start ace king ace ace. So if they get a spade ruff with a stiff king and a club ruff at east, that's just 6 defensive tricks before Declare is even in.
Oh my god. That's incredible. So 3 no. I don't know if 3 no was cold, but it was difficult for the defense to find more tricks than just their high cards. And
I mean, I think if you guess the jack of spades, it's always called.
yeah,
Or if you guess both majors, it's always called.
right.
But yeah, here, yeah, 2 hearts is down off the top.
Mm-hmm. Ah, look at this. 2 votes for my 1 no trump overcall in the South. I
Must
don't
be right.
I don't hate a heart, but I think I would probably choose a no trump.
So let's see. And I predict even if the auction is the same through the first couple of rounds, that they're not going to get to 3 no trump.
Yeah, probably not. It's hard to imagine South accepting an invite, and North is not going to game
Yeah.
force with just 7.
Right.
So we do get the spade transfer from North, 2 hearts. We'll see 2 spades from South, and then the question is going to be on North. Do we make an invite with a 2 no trump bid, or do we just let our partner struggle in the 5-2 spade fit? It looks like in 2 spades. Okay, he does pass 2 spades. So on what feels like a pretty natural diamond lead. I mean, West might lead the King of Hearts, but I would expect leading partner's diamond suit makes some sense. We'll be able to get a diamond ruff for the defense. So East probably ends up taking a diamond ruff, the ace of spades, and it's gonna be hard to prevent the defense from getting 2 heart tricks, because I think East at some point, when he's done giving partner ruffs in the diamond suit, will just put his stiff heart through, and that'll prevent any sort of end play. So Declare's probably gonna have to guess the spade jack to make this. Did I do that correctly? Yeah, A diamond rough, two
Yeah.
hearts, the ace of spades, and then declare needs to guess the spade jack. He's starting off fairly well. Yeah, there's no way Declare is doing the right thing here. I think he's just going to play a spade to the king and a spade back.
Yeah, it certainly feels that way. Yeah.
Although, wait a second.
I
Yeah,
mean,
okay.
East did open.
I was just getting to this. Okay, Bobby was much faster than me, but I think Bobby made the right play, albeit it's not going to work out for him because he's now probably hoping that he can put a heart through, get a heart ruff, then go
Right.
king of diamonds, diamond ruff, heart ruff.
Right, and also actually one thing to note is Bobby can see that the spades are blocked, so even though this blows up his jack for the moment, it's going to be very difficult for Declare to draw it because how does he get to his hand to do that? Like it turns out we can see he does it with a club rough,
Mm-hmm.
but or so how does he get to North to do it? Like
Yeah.
yeah, maybe that is a clubs is revealing, but I think that's what he's hoping for, that that it'll come back in the form of. Wow. So meanwhile, I'm not sure what happened in the other room, but Jeff Wolfson played one no trump with four top tricks and took four tricks.
well, well, yeah. Somehow he must have also lost that queen of spades and dummy because it looked like the ace king of spades were on side, and he. I
Yeah.
have to imagine the defense was trying to run that suit against him.
Right. And by the way, the Queen Jack of Hearts dropped Doubleton, so you actually have four heart tricks to go with your Ace King of Clubs
Oh,
at worst. So something. So let's see. When Ace of Spades, Jack of Spades, and he won. So now he actually has seven tricks if he just bangs down his Ace King of Hearts. So he must have played a diamond. No, he played a Jack of Clubs. Ran it. Oh, that wasn't good. So it's not fatal yet. So West cast the spades. I see. He pitched a heart from his hand, so now he can't take four heart tricks. And then he pitched a diamond from his hand, so the defense was able to run the diamonds. Oof.
hmm.
All right, I wish I hadn't looked.
Yeah. So what you're saying is all of the local club players would have just taken their seven top tricks pretty quickly and moved on
Yeah.
to the next board, and
I mean, the Queen of Clubs dropped Doubleton, right? They would have taken um an over trick, I guess, right? You can't take a fourth club because the eight's a trick, but you have three clubs and four hearts and seven and the Queen of Spades.
yep. Well, we'll see if Claire manages to do a little better in the blue room once we get to that board. So that was board 26.
Yeah, so on this one, Krikorian did manage to make an over trick, so at least helped the loss to six imps. I think if he hadn't taken that over trick, it was seven.
Over tricks are important sometimes.
All right, well, this certainly could be a pickup to North South here. And not actually have a sizable one. They were vulnerable, so those under tricks were 100 apiece.
Right.
Yeah.
So one no floated in the other room. I mean, it's a little surprising, but if you don't have a penalty double as West, I I guess it makes sense to pass and just hope that you're getting a plus score in this contract. The Queen Jack
Right.
Doubleton and Queen Doubleton aren't really prime cards that you might expect for spades to be a playable game.
Yeah, and you are collecting 100-point under tricks when you beat it, so that's going to mitigate the loss. When your side can make a game, and even when your side can make a game, you haven't bid it yet.
Right.
Your partner is not going to be able to cooperate when you have a 21 count and they have a strong no trump on your right.
Yeah. Yeah,
Even if your partner
exactly.
doesn't have the magic four count.
Sure.
Like if your partner's sitting over there with four spades and a king, he's just going to pass two spades and be happy you made a good decision.
Yep. Yeah, so one no. I mean, good decision by Mike Purcell to pass a no trump. We'll see if Mike Becker comes up with the same. Oh, we have two Mikes. We have the Mikes sitting west. Maybe that was planned. There's a Mike coalition. So one no trump.
in the same way that all the women have to sit in the same seat in the mixed events, all the mics have to sit in the same seat here.
Yeah, in the senior events, it's a requirement. Oh, okay. So
All right. So
we do have a bit of a divergence, which means
what kind of and I assume this is a methods mandated divergence. I would imagine that Pacell just couldn't make this card showing double.
yeah. Well, we haven't seen an alert on what double is. I suppose we will probably find out shortly.
And I think the fact that it hasn't been explained suggests it's a penalty double. No, wow. It is a spades and another or spade one suited.
Hmm. Okay, I mean, a little surprising to me because, like you said, partner's never going to cooperate. And I think it's like if we didn't have the queen jack of hearts and the queen of clubs, like if we only had ace king jack 10 fifth of spades and ace king jack fourth of diamonds, oddly enough, I suspect that we have a better chance of making game than having all of these values that because like given that we have 21 now and South has showed at least 15 with his no trump opener, we're severely limiting the high cards that our partner can have, which would help us out. um,
And it also means that South, as he does, has all the, has the ace king of both round suits,
right.
like which he kind of has to when we have the queen jacks.
Right, yeah, that's kind of the point because now it's like we would need South to have exactly 15 and we would need our partner to have like an ace, or I guess South could have 16 and our partner could have a king. But those are the only scenarios in which game has any play, and we still haven't picked up the queens in both pointed suits yet with only one entry to dummy. So yeah, I mean, it kind of feels to me like passing a no trump was a much better decision. But sometimes players will pick up a good hand and be like, "Oh, I have to show my good hand," without kind of thinking through the consequences that you're not really reaching game and you might have just been collecting 100 a trick against a no trump. So Jack of clubs lead, North leading from his club honors. It looks to me like Declare is going to end up going down one. But I suppose the defense might be able to hold him to 6 tricks if they're very careful.
Yeah, it is annoying for the defense to be on lead
Right.
as often as they're going to be.
Yeah,
I mean,
especially
they can.
like this 8 of clubs is setting up in the dummy.
Right. I mean, they do have one club exit now and as many hard exits as they need.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I would
maybe
just be
South should just play
worried
Spain
that
now to preserve his round suit exit cards.
yeah, I mean, it's true, I think, if South, like, let's say South magically cashes the ace king of hearts now and then exits a spade. Okay, he doesn't do that. But I would be concerned that Declare might be able to strip all of South's round suit cards and then, like, exit a low diamond at some point, throwing South in.
Yeah, although the fourth round of clubs is going to promote a trump trick.
True, true, yeah. Maybe it's just going to be too much for Declare to do everything. We'll see.
So someone just texted me, Wolfson is a cowboy. I believe that was referring to the three no trump hand, but I'm not 100% sure.
That sounds about right. Well, Wolfson has just passed board out, being in 4th seed and couldn't find an opening bid. All right, we'll let Mike Becker play his 2 spade contract. No matter what happens, I can't imagine him making it, and even if he does, it is not going to score quite as well as 1 no down 3 in the other room, north-south. So this should still be a pretty sizable pickup for Wolfson.
Other way around, right? It'll be a sizable pick. up for Goodman with Wolfson's team going minus in both
Oh,
rooms.
right. Yeah. So
So
sizable
they got
pickup for
at
Goodman.
least 9 imps, and if he's down two somehow, it'll be 11.
Yep. Well, board 29, we have a decent heart fit for north south, a pretty big spade fit for east west, but it's going to be. I was going to say it might be a little difficult for them to get involved in the auction. I mean, Mike Pissell obviously making a takeout double of a heart is going to help out. Steve Garner bidding two only hearts with the north cards. 6-4 singleton spade. I would have been very tempted to jump to three hearts with those north cards.
Yeah. Yeah, I think probably his plan is to bid again, possibly bid three clubs at his next chance to show this kind of hand.
Sure. Okay, well, four hearts by south, I don't think the auction is necessarily over.
I
I.
think the auction is over.
You don't think East is going to bid four spades here?
I do not think red, either east west, are going to take a call.
Okay. I'm a little surprised East, upon hearing that they have a 10 card spade fit, never took a call in the auction.
I think I think having not bid two spades, you cannot bid four spades here.
So would you bid two spades?
I don't know. I mean, I want to, probably honestly, like if you can count on partner to leave you there most of the time. But I think having not done it, you can't come in with four spades now.
Okay.
I don't know. What do you think?
Uh, I don't know what I would do, but I have the feeling that if I had a known 10 card spade fit, I mean, it's not 100% known, but partner did make a takeout double of
It's 100%
hearts.
known.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
partner made a takeout double of clubs and hearts. He has four spades.
right. So it seems like not getting to a four spade save is bad.
Yeah, but I think you have to bid two spades to show your length and let partner decide. I think just like what reason do you have to think that you have a good save, especially when you're often going to have club rough as you do here?
Okay, that's a fair point.
I think like that you can't you maybe want to have a partnership decision to save, but you can't just decide, that it's right to save.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I mean, you're
And
right
as
that
it
if
is,
West
they are
leads.
going to make it here.
Yeah, I mean, if West leads either of his black aces, then this is going to go down. So that's a fair point. I didn't really think about the club rough perspective. Well, we'll have to see what happens at the other table on that one. That could easily be a sizable swing. One way or another, four hearts might go down. Maybe they find the four spades save. It is down one in four spades.
Yeah, and by the way, you'll notice if he spits two spades, the defense will get this right for the wrong reason. West will lead the ace of spades, see dummy, and know that his only chance to beat it is with a club rough.
Yep. He'll also get a suit preference signal from partner after the stiff spade is in dummy.
Well, that's true.
So,
That's true too.
so
Yeah,
that'll be
right,
a fairly easy defense.
right.
All right, last board of play for this quarter, for this segment.
Both or quarter, right?
Yeah.
Is the third quarter.
Yeah, third quarter of play. In the green room, so board 30 over here. East opens a diamond. This announced as four or more, so they play a two or more one club opener. South overcalls a heart. And wow. North has quite the hand.
So, meanwhile, on the other side of the bracket, the match that we're not watching, Hammond are blowing Lewis out in this quarter. They're up 43 to 5 after taking the last set 47 to 2. So
Wow.
even with the 12 in penalties they got the last set, they still won that segment by 33 and they're ahead by another 38. So the match score is now 50 imps even post penalties.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So Hammond might be one of the two teams that is qualified to play in the finals starting tomorrow for the seniors, for USA1
And
at
in
least.
fact, Grable is still playing this segment to give his opponents a sporty chance by racking up some more time penalties. So, last board of the segment in the green room, the other room is several boards behind.
Yeah, and just quickly, it looks like Declare has found his way to down one in two spades in the blue room. So it will only be 9 imps, as you said, for Goodman, but still a decent pickup for them. North South found their way to four hearts in the green room over here after the heart overcall. Two club bid looks natural, I guess, and presumably forcing. Otherwise, Steve Garner would have cubed two diamonds. Two spades by South. North
Yeah.
jumps to four hearts.
So it looks like if they guess the hearts right, they've got a chance to make six here.
Yeah, it's not a amazing slam. I mean, I kind of suspect Declare is going to play a heart to the queen and then cash the ace. Maybe there's a slightly better plan for making 10 tricks only to guard against 4-1 hearts. But if hearts are 3
Yeah,
2,
they,
you can just go heart to the queen, ace of hearts, club, 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 club.
right.
And
And still have a late club and a late entry to the remaining clubs.
yeah. But we'll see
Yeah,
what
I
he
think
does.
here. Yeah, so it's a little. And so if East shifts to a spade, how do you play the hand?
Oh, I see. We're not quite in dummy yet. That makes sense. For
Right.
whatever reason, I thought we were already in dummy at trick one. No, we're not.
Yeah, the
East.
king is pretty big, but not quite big enough.
Yeah. Okay, East switches
So
to
I
a
think like
spade. I guess we have to win this.
yeah, like it's not. I mean, maybe you rough a diamond, cross to a spade, or maybe catch a spade, rough a spade, or rough a diamond, cross to a spade, rough another diamond, and now just start playing clubs and figure all you're going to lose is a bunch of trump tricks.
Yeah, it seems pretty reasonable to me.
Like your spades, you've lost this trick, and your spots are good enough that you can lose just the king and the ten of hearts by force, as long as the second club stands up, right?
Yeah, it's also interesting to me to just like lead the queen of hearts out of hand. Okay, we're about to see. We'll see what Declare ends up doing.
Yeah.
But like, if we lead the queen of hearts out of hand, presumably East has the king. And if East switches to diamonds, the queen of diamonds switch will set up our jack, and a low diamond means we don't even get tapped in dummy. So we might
Yeah, I was going to be.
then be able to just like win whatever return is happening, go ace of hearts heart, and then start running clubs.
Yeah, and if somehow the Queen of Hearts holds, like if West tries to make a strong play ducking it, it's still now maybe it's a little tricky because they ducked from King fourth. You don't want to be going around cashing the ace.
Yeah, but then we're in like a pretty happy spot where we can probably just give up 3 trump tricks if necessary, start cashing all of our winners and cross roughing, just go ace king queen of clubs and rough diamonds and dummy or something
Yeah.
like that.
Well, you've only got one trump left in dummy when that happens, and they might be able to ruff a club and cash the King of Hearts, which is going to be really bad for you.
No, I mean like if the queen of hearts holds, we could probably just abandon trumps and go club club club.
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't cash the ace, right?
But
Yeah,
Declare
makes
has taken
sense.
a different line of play. It feels to me like almost every line of play is fairly close here, and every line is probably um, fairly close in terms of like guarantee to make 10 tricks. So, taking a line that looks good at match points is probably fine.
So
The third club feels weird to me, but I don't think Declare is going to be in any trouble with the trumps splitting.
I think with the King of Hearts on, he's going to be fine because now he'll just need to rough two diamonds, take a heart finesse.
Yeah.
But he actually, might end up in some kind of weird coup position at the end.
Yep.
Now that the Ten of Hearts is singleton in the West End.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's safe to even cash the Ace of Hearts here and then play the Queen of Hearts out of hand. If he ducks, we can rough a diamond and pitch our diamond loser on the last club.
I think when he cashes the ace and 10 pops up, he'll just rough a diamond.
Yeah,
Rough a club, rough a diamond, and just lose to the King of Hearts.
Yep, that is also true. Plenty of routes to 10 tricks. So.
Is he trying to take 11 here?
This is a little worrisome because I don't know how we play the hand from this point. I guess we take the heart finesse.
Do we?
Well, we have to, right? If we play a heart to the ace and rough a diamond and East has king 10 third, we're in trouble. So we take the heart hook, but the issue for me would have been, well, I guess we rough a diamond and then rough a club, and if West was able to overrough, so be it.
Right.
So this will be 10 tricks for Declare in the green room.
Yeah, it's fine. We can just rough middle now and not worry about it.
Yeah. And in the blue room, looks like South has taken a club hook and is making 2 over tricks. So this will be 1 imp. Everyone's just scoring these 1 imp over tricks and all the boards. 1 imp to Goodman. I'm going to pull up just the blue room for the last few boards of play. And then maybe if Hammond and Lewis are still playing, we can head over there after this set has concluded.
Yeah, they're on board 28, so they're keeping pace with the blue room that we're watching.
Great. I don't remember this hand at all. What happened at the other table?
Passed out.
Oh. That's why I don't remember it. Oh, this is the one where I was complaining that, who was it? Wolfson?
Wolfson passed in 4th seat.
Right, yeah. So pass.
I think Dr. Kevorkian was about to pass here also.
Yep. Just a 10 count, but a bunch of queens. You're red on white. You're most likely going to end up in a no trump, and I don't think that's where you want to be. Probably don't expect to have good prospects at making a game either. I mean, you could have a spade fit, but queen doubleton of hearts, small doubleton diamond aren't exactly the holdings you really want.
Like giving it a longer look than I expected.
Yeah, I mean, combine the major suit queens into an ace. Give yourself ace 4th of spades and ace queen 5th of clubs, and I think a lot of people might open the hand even in 4th seat, but not this one. So 2 boards to go. Right, and this is the hand that I think could easily be a swing of some sort. We'll see how the auction goes at this table. I don't expect Bobby to preempt 2 spades. Wait. North passed? Wait. What? Hello?
That is absolutely not possible.
I don't see a director call. No director call so far.
And yet, what is I mean, he obviously could make a joke about missorting his hand. Of course, they're on tablets. He obviously missaw his hand.
The fact that Bobby hasn't done anything yet makes me a little suspicious that there's some exchange going
There's
on between Drew and Bobby.
very possibly, yeah, because they're in the same physical room.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll see. Stay tuned.
Yeah, I don't think Bobby is thinking about how many spades to preempt here.
You don't think it's a good three spade preempt? I mean, you are 6'4".
All right, so I think we're just gonna have to wait and see if there is a procedure for dealing with this kind of nonsense.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think the normal thing to do is to call the director, but it's possible that our senior citizen friends haven't really figured out the technology. Okay, there it is. As we
All right.
suspected, TD recalled the last vid. And this is, I think, perfectly fine. I know I got a comment from someone on one of my YouTube videos about this saying that as a director, they themselves didn't feel like some of these rewinds in auctions should be allowed. But given that South and West, for that matter, haven't seen anything that's happened on the other side of the table, there's no real harm to letting North do whatever they want, I think.
So I agree with that. And I suspect also, given that this technology is relatively new, there's going to be a period when they're very generous about these kinds of undos.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I know you don't. When I play on bridge base, I do play in confirm bid and play mode. So you have to double click on everything for it to take, but I don't know whether these tablets have the
Mm,
equivalent or even if the players have any control over it if they do.
I see. Yeah,
So yeah, and
it would
North
be.
so North just misclicked and they're gonna be accommodating about those at least for a while. Sorry, you're saying it would be
Well, I was going to say, like, it would be a different scenario, right? If, like, North had passed, Bobby had passed, the board went to the other side of the screen, and now we started asking for an undo.
absolutely.
But given that it seemed pretty clear, like, Drew Kaysen probably, like, clicked on his tablet or whatever. Maybe it was, like,
And there's
loading.
a
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, and he was just like, "Oh, that's not what I meant to do." He probably just announced it out loud, and so Bobby was like, "Okay, hands off, not gonna do anything. Let's wait and find out what my opponent is trying to do." So they had plenty of
Right.
time
So
to.
I don't
Yeah.
so I actually don't know how it works, but I would not be surprised if I guess there's probably not a director in every physical room, but there's probably not like a certified director. I would guess there's a monitor in every room though.
Yeah, that would be helpful for this kind of scenario. So I will mention that Bobby Levin took a vastly more aggressive view of the East cards than the player in the other room. I think that was Goodman that we were watching. Where,
Yeah, I mean yeah. Also though you'll notice that North took a very different action.
yeah, North's choice is a little bit different, but I don't think it's particularly strange. Um, or
Well, no, it's no, but from Bobby's point of view, like from Goodman's point of view, and I'm not saying this, I still think he should have taken a call, of course, but um, North three hearts in his room could have been a high card three heart bid, and here Bobby knows the high cards are actually in Becker's hand.
oh, North bid two hearts in the other room.
Right. Oh, that's right. He bid two and not three. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Never mind. So he bid three. Yeah, Goodman should have just bid two spades. Obviously, Bobby here. Yeah, it's just preemptively saved at equal red, which is a very, very different approach.
Yep.
And I think if Bobby Levin is doing it, then I will probably defer to you that it was just right to do it, no matter what.
Oh, I didn't realize that West actually had three diamonds. I guess four spades is down two. So I had originally quoted us as down one, but it looks like three diamonds, a heart, and a spade are the tricks for the defense. Well, but, with that said, like the auction isn't over yet. The opponents might mistakenly bid out to five hearts, and I think that's one of the big wins for one of these giant jumps to four spades.
I suspect that South, though, looking at the King of Spades and with only five hearts is going to double, but we'll see. No, I'm wrong, as usual.
This, like, my thought would be, man, what would I do? Would I be worried that if I passed four spades, it would just pass out? A little bit.
Yeah, more than a little, right? All you've done is respond to the one level.
Right. So it does kind of feel like I'm under pressure because I would love to like pass four spades and like ship it back to partner and see if partner does something intelligent, like either double or bid five hearts on their own, like with a spade void, for example. But
So I get that, but if we're acting, why are we not just making a card showing double, right? We have extra high cards and don't really have extra shape.
yeah, that is a fair point. Yeah, I mean, I guess as South, that probably is the conclusion I would fall to that I just have to double and accept whatever happens. So this defense is not going to be particularly challenging for East West. I mean, whether or not West finds the club rough, West will have three natural tricks, two aces, and the King of Hearts.
Yeah. Yeah, although notice West has not chosen to double this contract. I guess he's probably just happy to be off the hook here.
Yeah, I was a little curious about the opening diamond lead from the other room, whether that would let five hearts make. Declare could technically play three rounds of diamonds pitching a spade. I mean, using the ace of hearts as an entry back to hand. But it looks like the 4-1 club split might make Declare's life a little too difficult.
No, you can
No?
play
No.
another. You can play another trump and then just take a club finesse.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's actually quite simple once the Queen of Diamonds falls, but here we go. We had the strong defense that I think I had alluded to in the other room. Ace of Spades was led. Bobby Levin signaled for a club with a low spade, and we get Ace of Clubs club rough, so this will be down two. And that's going to be, what, 14, I think?
Yes, I believe so. And of course, the four spade bid got Becker to make the right lead, sort of as a two-way shot. They might have a second spade to cash, or, it might just give nothing up and direct the defense.
Yep.
I think latter is more likely, but there's some possibility Bobby would have King 10 fifth of spades here instead of 10 empty sixth.
Right.
Although maybe that's not consistent with North South bidding out. Anyway, kind of a missed opportunity here, although well done by East to guarantee winning imps no matter what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, preamps work sometimes. Declare really in the tank here about the second under trick.
Yeah, it's like an undoubled under trick even.
Yeah. Okay, does take the heart finesse, and that's going to be down two.
Yeah, I was down to whatever he did, obviously.
Still 13. All right, my imp scale is not correct because I know that 720 is also 13. I would have figured at some point they increased it up to 14, but I guess 820
Yeah, it
is
might
not
be.
quite there.
I think 900 might be the magic number actually.
Oh wow, that's a lot. So other room here, we got to four hearts. and Declare played, I guess, fairly carefully to just guarantee 10 tricks, or mostly guarantee 10 tricks.
Yeah, 900 is the magic number.
Got it.
So, um, yeah, so this is the one that we saw was a little bit tricky to play on the defense we got in the other room with a diamond over and a spade back.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, with everything working, obviously Declare could just take 12 tricks.
Right.
Run the Jack of Hearts, pull all the trumps, run the club suit. I suspect even on Ace of Diamonds, Queen of Diamonds, or Ace of Diamonds Club, Declare can probably take 12 tricks, but maybe it's a little more complicated. Regardless, protecting against some 4-1 trump divisions is going to be something Declare cares about.
Yeah, so the auction is more or less the same in both rooms, although Andy Goodman's one diamond opening did show at least four diamonds were here. I assume one diamond could be 4432.
Yep.
So again, same start. South showing us spades in response to North's natural club bid.
Yeah, and we have the final jump to 4 hearts by North in both rooms. I mean, fairly reasonable. Like, North has an effective 10 count with that stiff king of diamonds, probably not carrying too much weight. So, for slam to make, North really needs like a lot of stuff in the majors from his partner. Probably all of the ace, king, queen of hearts, and at least the ace of spades, but possibly even the ace, queen of spades or something.
Are we all surprised that in both rooms, North made what I'm assuming is a non-forcing two club bid?
I can't imagine it's non-forcing.
I mean, it looks forcing, but I don't think it's too common for people to play this two clubs forcing.
I don't think it's common either, but how could North bid non-forcing 2 clubs here with a heart fit?
Right, but like both Norths did it. Is it, what's more likely that both Norths are playing this unusual forcing two clubs, or that they both, bid two clubs and hope to get away with it?
I think
I'm
they're
not sure what
both
the answer to that
probably.
question is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're both probably playing the forcing 2 clubs. I mean, it's a fairly old school method, and these players are old
Yeah,
school by definition.
that's true. Yeah, that is true.
All right, well, scorecard wise, Wolfson is currently sitting on about a 19 imp lead. This board not going to change that all that much. At least we don't suspect. Maybe there's some way the defense can cause Declare to go wrong, but it's going to be pretty difficult, I think.
So this also, I was wondering if this defense would cause Declare any trouble by cutting him off from using the clubs late in the hand.
Yeah, like the thing is, Declare can just take the same line that they did at the other table, right? In the other room, Declare just started cashing clubs immediately on a spade switch and pitched 2 spades.
Yeah, and one thing about a defense like this is this kind of defense is often really effective against a slam, against a game where Declare has a couple of tricks to play with. It doesn't rate to do as much good.
Yeah, yeah, but Bobby, I think, very reasonably, won the opening lead, saw that his partner didn't lead a club shortness, and therefore knew that Declare was the one with the stiff club, and just
Right.
figured, like, there's not really much I can do about it, so let's just cut communications and see what happens.
Yeah, I think Bobby could be 100% sure that this play is going to cut the clubs off.
Yeah. So
So
diamond
yeah, I think
rough.
you're right. Declare's gonna
Yeah, spade over,
spade to the
diamond
king, another
rough.
diamond rough, ace of clubs,
Yep. Yeah, and then I
and then
suspect
I'll
there's
decide
probably
whether
some
to.
sort of like safety play at that point after cashing one more club, throwing a spade. Declare will probably just abandon the club suit and lead to the jack of hearts for a finesse.
I don't know. Isn't cashing the other high club the safety play where, if East roughs onside, you can overruff, and if East has the last club, you can pitch, and the Jack of Spades is going to guarantee The Jack of Hearts is going to guarantee that you only have one more trump loser, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true, unless there's like a king 10 fourth of hearts out there. This
Yeah.
seems fine. No, this
Yeah,
this
there's a
isn't
king
true.
ten.
No, 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 no.
But if there's a king ten fourth out, leading the Jack of Hearts was going to be bad anyway.
Yeah, that's also true. But what happens if West has? Well, I guess West would have to have 10 fourth of hearts.
Yeah, but then you were going to be down anyway.
No, no,
I
we would
think.
make
No,
it
no,
if
no, you
West
are.
had
You're
10
right.
fourth,
You're right.
but it's
But not on my hypothetical line of. Well, no, then. Well, 10 fourth and no more clubs,
right. Yeah.
right?
Yeah, because here West can return a diamond, right? If like supposing West had 10 third of hearts remaining, we can't really afford to go ace of hearts heart because we would lose if East had king 10 third. So we have to rough in hand and lead our heart to the jack, but then East wins the king, puts a diamond through, that promotes a trump trick for the
Oh,
defense.
right. If West started with as much as 10 third of hearts, he would get a Trump promotion.
Would need to be fourth because West has roughed a club. But yeah, it's probably fairly rare. I think you're right. That third round of clubs is probably safe enough in the dummy.
Yeah, I think it also, if West has any three trumps and is out of clubs now, it's probably just as good as anything to have led that high club.
Yep.
Yeah, it's sort of a weirdly tricky hand for a hand where you start with pretty good trumps you know, and all these winners in the side suits.
Yep.
All right, so here, I think there's nothing dumb. Yeah, there's nothing Declare can do to go down if he leads a low one. That'll be the last week of the friends. If he leads the ace, he's got East spotted.
Yep. Yeah, probably still gonna spend a little bit of time thinking. Um, Bobby
Yeah,
did
so yeah,
switch to a low spade and not the queen earlier. I don't think that's going to give him a ton of information about the hand, but maybe he can place West with the long spades. Oh, he does go ace of hearts. This to
Well,
me
I
seems
suspect
particularly risky.
Why?
Well, East could have had king 10 third, right?
Oh, right. Yes, that's true. All right, so now we get to find out whether this room generated any time penalties. I would suspect not with 9 minutes left on the clock, but we'll find out.
Yeah. Okay. So that is wrapping up segment 6 in this room. I'm going to quickly pull up the Hammond match. Oh, they're just completing the last board. And I know I'm covering up South's hand, but 10 tricks and 4 hearts at all 4 tables.